Guys, it's been a while. We're back in the game, back with the panel. So it's been a while since we've had the panel back, and I thought this was a good way to come back because of some big breaking news, man. So to tell you what's going to be on the show, 35 goals. Haaland has broken the record. We have to talk about gentrification. We have to talk about the facts that Haaland and Pep have domesticated and father figured this thing on as the Prince Charles English Premier League. So we're going to talk about Haaland's milestone and what could this guy do henceforth. I'll be looking at the greatest goal scorer of all time. Madness has happened. PSG ultras turn up at Neymar's house and start chanting that he should get out of the club, and Neymar even responds to that on Instagram. Messi is announcing that he's going to be leaving PSG. So we could be seeing finally the breakup of stuff at PSG this summer, with perhaps Messi definitely leaving and maybe Neymar even leaving with him as well. So we're going to just address the whole Neymar-Messi PSG dynamic. And also we're going to talk about Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid. Again, it's not confirmed, but it is believed that Real Madrid are close to signing Jude Bellingham. We're going to talk about whether is this a good signing? Is it right for Jude to make this move? And is this a good move for Real Madrid moving forward? So lots of stuff to talk about and so forth. If you guys are probably going to be coming in, so we have my man Ricardo in there, who's on Twitch. Guys? Give him a follow. Again, Ricardo EM and so forth. Give him a follow on Twitch and so forth, and send him some hate from me. Please send him some hate. Okay, Madrid fans, go ahead and send him some hate here. And Paul, my man Paul, you're going back to Spain, man. Back to Espanol.
I am, and hopefully there I will have I think I have a much better microphone, which I know a lot of people hate my microphone, and
yeah.
Hopefully I have.
So you're looking forward to going back to Madrid then?
Not to Madrid, but yeah, to Spain.
Okay. So you're gonna miss the lovely, amazing food of England and the amazing food and weather in England.
I will be so devastated.
Yeah, well,
no, it's been good in England. Hey, I don't want to say it in England. You know, I've visited some cities like Liverpool, Manchester. In Liverpool, they have treated us amazingly well. I mean, everywhere, but especially there, I have to highlight it. So.
No. Liverpool is no. I mean, the people in Liverpool are really cool. Man. They're really cool. I mean, depending on where you're going, I think the thing about England though is like it's a very, very old, basically like France. It's a very, very old. So in terms of history and so forth, it's like a really, really historic place. I think that's the good thing about it, man. So guys, look, man, let's get in on the action, man. Let me hit that straight marker right now. So. 35 goals. So quite scary, quite frightening, man. And I believe this is 35 goals in 33 games. So again, just to put this into perspective, he broke Salah's record. And the previous record was Shearer and Andy Cole, but that was in 42 games. So Shearer and Andy Cole scored 34 goals in 42 games. He has already scored more than that in less games, in 33 games, which is scarily insane. Nobody could have foreseen this. Nobody could have foreseen. No. Sorry, don't do that. Nobody. Okay, it's one thing breaking a record. It's another thing giving birth to a record. Those are two different things. There's breaking a record, and there is completely and totally doing a vivisection on a freaking record, which is what this guy did. This guy colonized a damn record, because my thing though is that he could have more. This guy could drop 40. I don't think anybody saw in his debut season he would hit the ground running like this and be this insane, because I'm sorry, guys, it's a gentrification. What he's done to the EPL and so forth is a gentrification. But where I even want to go further with this, and the discussion is, he's 22 now. He's going to be 23 this year. Are we going to be looking at the greatest goal scorer of all time? Because my thing though is, if he carries on at this rate, I've already said that I think both Christian UCL records fall. His overall UCL record falls, and his the overall UCL record, I think that's going to fall if you consider the rates. The campaign record is tricky. That's going to be a tough one to beat. Messi's 91 in a calendar year, because he plays for Argentina, that's also going to be a very tough one to beat. So I think the Messi 91 in a calendar year and the Cristiano in a UCL campaign is going to be difficult. But the overall Cristiano one, based on how much he's already said what's up, I think that one is going to fall. Because, bro, as long as he stays with Pep and Haaland, I don't see how anybody stops this freak of nature. He may not pass the eye test. He may play like a Norwegian bulldog from the Viking age. He may not really be easy in the eye. But in terms of doing the job of a striker, in terms of getting G's and scoring goals, I haven't seen anything like this since Cristiano. And the scary thing, that this may be even worse than Cristiano, because how easily this guy is scoring goals and the ease with which he's scoring goals, it's unheard of. It's madness, man. Ricardo, talk to me about this, Earl, man.
All right. I'm not going to brag about what I've said in the past.
But you're about to brag now.
No, I'm not, I promise. But Erling Haaland.
Yes, get on camera. If you want to be in the whole thing, get yourself on camera, then I'll bring you in. Yes, continue, go for it.
With Haaland, I cannot say I'm surprised, because if you look at his every club he's played for, I believe at Salzburg and then even at Dortmund, specifically Dortmund, he was averaging a goal a game with a vastly inferior side. Now you could argue it's a vastly inferior league. However, when you put Erling Haaland, a pure goal scorer, the best goal scorer of his generation, or at least the crop of players, he's by far the best one. You put him, surround him against a team that is full of elite creators, or at least as a unit, they are like a creative unit. And you pair that with Pep Guardiola. This was a recipe, like, just to succeed. Like it was, to me, the way I view it, I just had no doubt that Erling Haaland was going to break the Premier League record, because he was scoring, like, I think it was like 27 or 29 goals in his debut season with Dortmund, at least his full debut season, and he was doing it in a 1-to-1 goal to game ratio. So what do you think is going to happen when you put him against with Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez? I mean, if Grealish starting to go under, starting to work, like,
don't know, but Ricardo, we all thought that's okay. At least have a season in which to get acclimatized to the new team. What is shocking is how quickly he's gotten used to a very different system, a hard system to master and understand, and how quickly he's acclimatized himself. That's shocking.
I mean, yes, but at the same time, I would agree to that only in the extent of if we're judging Haaland's overall game. I don't think he's completely meshed in terms of his overall play. Well, you can question how good is his overall game anyways, but I think his goal scoring ability doesn't need to ever be questioned regardless. Like, I think just on the sole fact of how he's willing to score goals, it doesn't matter what kind of system he needs to play. I just think this Pep Guardiola system was obviously perfect for him, because they create so many chances, and they were already breaking goal scoring records even without a consistent starter. I mean, Aguero, they kind of had to play that way because Aguero wasn't reliable in terms of his injuries.
International so they kind of
And so then they brought in Gabriel Jesus, who's obviously more, who fit that system that Guardiola wanted. But now you have an actual goal scorer. To me, Haaland, this is my opinion, at least on the way I see the future of his going so far. I think as long as the quality of players he has around him is high, he's going to succeed. I think Haaland is the type of player that he is only as good as the players around him.
No, but okay, succeed to what? I need to be specific. Succeed to what level? Succeed as in he breaks all records.
I think for him to have, yeah, I definitely think he breaks all records. I'm looking at sports science. It's definitely a lot better than when Messi and Ronaldo are around. So he's going to have that longevity. I'm also looking at the reformation of the Champions League that's going to allow more teams, more games. So he's going to have more games and more opportunity to break those records that Messi and Ronaldo have set. I'm also looking at, I mean, I trust that the infrastructure at Man City is going to actually replace certain players, because I think when Man City have to eventually replace Kevin De Bruyne, they're going to have to eventually replace Riyad Mahrez. They're eventually going to have to replace Bernardo Silva. Are the players they're replacing with are they going to be of the same quality? I don't think so. I mean, they could reach that level, but are they going to be able to provide Haaland with the same number of quality chances for Haaland to capitalize? I think that's a question we'll see in the future, but I do think I'll be willing. I think you can make the argument that next year he will get in around the same amount of goals. But I think the more the creators start to decline, the Kevin De Bruyne's, the Mahrez's, the Bernardo Silva's, I think that's when you'll see a decline in the number of goals he scores. But I think over time, Haaland's overall game will actually improve under Pep Guardiola. So I mean, it's hard to say, but I do think his goal scoring numbers are completely reliant on who is around him.
Yeah. Paul, what do you say, man, about the Earl?
I mean, Ricardo says he isn't surprised, and I get what he's saying. Obviously, it's hard to be surprised by anything nowadays. But if you think about it, this is alien territory.
Yes.
It's not about the Premier League even. Like, it's just that one guy has come to one of the best leagues, and let's not get into the conversation if it's the best league or under which parameters it is. And he gets this goal. Not only, look, we're talking about a system. Ricardo said that it fits him perfectly. I think it's more that Haaland fits City perfectly. City doesn't fit Haaland, but the point I want to make is Haaland has been growing so much in City. Now you see the thing that City needed the most: someone who you pass the ball to, that striker holds the ball, and then allows the play to continue, because he gives time to the team to go up and get into those spaces. So he's doing he reminds me, there was one game, I think it was a league game against, I don't know if it was in fact against Arsenal, where he played an amazing game. There was one game he reminded me of Benzema, bro. And I don't say in terms of technical, because no, but in terms of he touched the ball, he held it, he did the pass, and then joined in again on the attack to make that final shot. That is pure Kane, pure Benzema. And a lot of people talk about Kane. Well, Kane was kind of a Haaland striker at the beginning. He wasn't this kind of dude who was moving around. He wasn't a Suarez, and he grew.
I think it was Pochettino that actually expanded his game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kane was it's a product of Pochettino, but this Kane is a product of Pochettino. So imagine Haaland after 3 years under Guardiola. Then imagine him. I don't know. Imagine he, and I'm not saying this, to imagine he goes out and starts growing under different managers, right? Under different. This could be the next big thing. And I tweeted to Patrick, a City fan, who he is, and I told him, hey, don't ever let this guy go. Like, don't even make him doubt. If you let him go, this guy's gonna be. It's just that this guy can be.
Sorry, Paul, you say this, and then, but sorry to cut you, but something I read some weeks ago, I don't know whether it's the same, but his dad, Alf-Inge Haaland, is his agent, and I heard him saying that he wants Haaland to actually test himself in different territories. So he just doesn't want to remain in Man City. That's what he wants for his son and stuff like. What they both want to do is, let's say we've conquered Premier League, let's now conquer La Liga. Let's now conquer here and so forth.
I think after he leaves England, I think he's going to Spain.
Oh, for sure.
He's going for one of those two clubs.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I agree with that, but the thing is that can change. Like, bro, if Haaland wins the Ballon d'Or in City, why would he go? The only club which he might go, which I don't think so, is Madrid, because then why would he go? I mean, no, like, why would he go to other team? Not for money, not for achievement if he wins the Ballon d'Or, not for UCL if he wins the UCL. So why would he go to another club? Like, that thing of I'm gonna prove myself in other leagues. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, if the player is happy there, if he makes roots there, what makes you think he's gonna move? And you said a key thing. The father wants and then you said both. I don't know. A lot of times the father wants one thing, the son wants another thing. Look at Fati, for example.
Yeah. No, but I think it's hard because that's why I don't know. Does Haaland strike as a person that's a one club person that wants to dedicate most of his career to one club?
No,
or is he a kind of guy where, what is the
move.
biggest challenge? Let me show that I'm truly the best in the world, and let me go to the toughest place. Because we'll get to Jude Bellingham and why Real Madrid is a very specific place to be. If you succeed there, under those lights, you're now in a very special echelon based on the kinds of players who played for that club.
But then what is? But no, I don't think he's going to be a one club man. No way. And not to City, not to anybody. But I do think that I think he will move out, but he will move out when he's 28. So he'll have still
really that long
years, if a good years. 4 years at Madrid, for example, or Barcelona, whatever. I think it was Madrid, but whatever. And that's it. I mean, it's not like with 24 in the prime of his career he's gonna go. Why would he? Like, if he actually wins the Ballon d'Or, if he wins the UCL, why would he move into his prime to Madrid, where he could actually not succeed? It could happen, not because of the pressure, just external factors.
Actually, no. Could you do one? I'll give it, then I'll come to Elias with this. As long as Pep remains, Haaland is going to stay. I think once Pep leaves, then there's a greater chance that Haaland will leave. But I think as long as Pep remains, because I don't know how long Pep is going to stay at City, but as long as Pep stays at Man City, I think Haaland's going to be like, no, let me be with this bald dude, because with this bald dude, I'm going to destroy records.
I agree with that.
No.
Elias, talk to me.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Haaland, world-class striker. I think he is, I would say, the only great striker of like this current generation. When you think about it, which other strikers are up to his caliber or up and coming? Like, you can't think of any. Just like world class. And regarding his stint at Manchester City, I always knew he was going to be successful. Maybe not to this degree, like breaking records. But I knew he was going to be successful. Just you saw in Borussia Dortmund, you saw in the Champions League, he was getting more goals than games. And I never believed like, hey, the Premier League, it's this like extremely difficult league. No, a good player is a good player. A good player is going to perform in any league. It's as simple as that.
No, but Elias, they were saying that. Are you EPL proven? Are you
EPL
proven?
Exactly, but those are just like the EPL fans, like the Prem fans, just saying like, hey. No, like I never believed into that. It's as simple as this. If you're good enough, you're going to be good enough in any league. It's that simple. And
because what I want to know, and anyone can jump in here, what records does he break? Because I'm looking at the 3 records: Cristiano's overall UCL record, the Cristiano 1 campaign UCL record, and Messi's 91 goal in a calendar year record. Like, does he break all 3?
I think he breaks the all-time Champions League record.
Yeah,
I think that's probably the easiest one to break, in my opinion.
And I think the Champions League goal in one season. I believe
that's
two,
tough.
I think
because that's 17.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, Erling Haaland has what, like 12 right now?
Yeah.
He's on 12. I think that is harder than the overall UCL record.
Yeah.
But those two, I think, they are doable, but very hard. I think the Messi one, I think just because he plays for Norway, and on top of that, just the style player that he is, it's going to be very, very difficult because Messi was scoring from free kicks, dribbling. He was doing everything.
No,
and so
that's interesting. You know, Elias, if he scored those goals without doing what Messi was doing.
Yeah,
what?
Exactly.
He'll
be matching Messi.
But see, that's my point, though. If, let's say, you have you're a good free kick taker, you're a good dribbler, and so forth, it increases the amount of goals that you can score. Because that means if you have more variety of goals, that means that increases the more goals that you can potentially score. But because Haaland isn't a great free kick taker and he doesn't have the dribbling ability of Messi, it is actually quite amazing he's even gotten these amounts of goals already. Because you're like, wow, like you're taking away solo goals, your ability to dribble past several guys, you're taking away free kicks as well. So that's like 10 to 15 potential goals he could get with free kicks and solo goals. So now imagine if he was a free kick taker. Imagine if he was actually even a better dribbler. Then it gets very scary.
I also have one question. What are you going to say about Mbappe and Haaland if, for example, Haaland goes? If Haaland goes, he wins the treble and then he wins the Ballon d'Or. So you're saying in one season he's already surpassed Mbappe's club career.
Wait, hold on.
What are you going to say about that?
You know what the best part is? HH, on your Twitter, you actually just recently said, like, all kudos to Messi for leading blah blah blah. If Haaland wins the treble, he deserves to win the Ballon d'Or. So you're subliminally saying that the treble is more valuable than the World Cup.
Can I respond?
So as an extension, you're saying Mbappe's World Cup has been surpassed by Haaland's treble.
Can I just respond? Let me just respond. My response is this. And also, shout out to Mbappe was actually 19 when he scored in that final. So my thing though is, it is what he's done that is so historic. Because obviously World Cup tax is heavy. But you know what counts against Messi? Is the World Cup was in December. So I believe the Ballon d'Or is going to be like in November. You see, previously time, the World Cup is in the summer. A few months later is the Ballon d'Or. So it's still fresh in your memory. So by the time that the Ballon d'Or comes through, it would have been like a year since the World Cup. So are you going to give...
I'm not going to lie, I would love if Haaland wins the Ballon d'Or, man. Because
guys, let's talk about it. If Haaland, he's already broken the record right now. Let's say he now says, "What's up?" in, let's say, the FA Cup final. He scores in the UCL final. City win the treble.
Yeah, no, he would deserve it. I'm not denying that he would deserve it over Messi. I think either of them deserve it based on the narratives they're going to hold. But if Haaland wins it, he's definitely a deserved winner. I'm not denying that. He definitely does deserve it.
Yeah, exactly. Just both are deserved winners. It's just what do you value more, a treble or the World Cup?
No, I value the World Cup. I value the World Cup, 100%.
No, but I don't think that's the matter, Elias, because no one is denying that the World Cup is the most important. It's just that has been almost a year. Like,
exactly.
And Messi has already had his trophy at the best. Like, it's just the timing. It's not
to
that...
be fair, also to be fair for Messi, I genuinely don't think an 8th Ballon d'Or actually means anything after the World Cup. I think a Ballon d'Or for Haaland is actually a huge legacy accomplishment for him.
And also say for me, let's say, okay, there are a few dynamics. So Ballon d'Or, what is it? It's French. And we're now going to get into what's happening in Paris right now. The French and Messi, I don't think they're on speaking terms and everything. And also as well, I think that for the future of the game, I think it would probably be a lot more sensible to give it to a young up-and-comer than, he's won it again and so. Because if you don't give it to Haaland, it now puts pressure on Mbappe, it puts pressure on Vini, and puts pressure on all those other guys. So, look, he's got his first. What are you now going to do? So it puts pressure on the other guys in his age to be like, okay, step up because this guy could win 2, 3, or 4. All right, let me come to RDS and Video. So RDS, thoughts on Haaland getting the 35?
Just before, I just want to do a hot take, use a phrase. I think, for me, the best players in the world right now are Haaland, number 1, and number 2, Vinicius. And now you can come at me with whatever you want.
Paul, that's my hot take because for me, I feel that we'll get there. There is such a heavy PSG tax. I can't put Mbappe ahead of Vini. Mbappe, yes. No, because you did your thing in the World Cup. You were outstanding in that World Cup final. But we have to look at the context of the whole year.
If we're being honest, Mbappe hasn't even been better than Messi in this season.
No, I don't think so.
No, Mbappe.
Wait, I thought you put João Felix ahead of Vini.
Okay.
Or yes, he has the best footballing brain in the entire league.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep that in mind. He has the best footballing brain.
RDS, thoughts on Haaland's 35 piece?
I mean, shout out to Haaland, man. Like it's because wait, let me just go. So how many? So this is his PL game. This will be his 35th
in 33 games. I don't think he's even played 33 games.
No, So how many PL? Because I'm sure he's definitely on more goals per games he's played in the PL.
Yeah, he's only played
for
30.
sure.
He's only played 32 games, I believe.
32 games and scored 35 goals. You know,
that's the disgusting.
You got to say it's incredible because he did the same thing with Dortmund. He scored more goals than he played than he played games for Dortmund.
Oh, and everyone is saying 31. The streets are saying it's 31 games.
Even better.
31 games. And the same thing in the Champions League. So I can't remember when a striker is actually, at best, it's been close to 1-to-1, let alone surpassing one.
Ronaldo almost did that in Barcelona. He almost did that in Barcelona, but not quite to this degree. But I think he came close. I think
players have done it has been Messi, Ronaldo, and Suarez, at least in modern times.
Yeah, more times.
Wait, Cristiano or Big Ronaldo?
No, Cristiano Ronaldo. When they all three of them did it in La Liga, that's why.
Yeah, La Liga, yeah.
La Liga.
So to do that, but I mean to do that, but I guess with Haaland to do it because he's only 22, if I recall.
Yeah,
that's correct.
In 2 different leagues, he did it in the Bundesliga with Dortmund, and he's doing it obviously with Man City in the Premier League as well. You know, it's incredible. You know, I can't hate. You know, although having said that, I had no issue with Haaland because obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the one who scouted him in the first instance because he trained at Mulder, etc.
All he knows is ball.
Yeah, he does. He does Vader. He does Vader. So if these Chelsea forwards are actually ball, they might be where they are, but it is what it is. So, I've always, when he was at Salzburg, I always wanted Haaland to come to United. He didn't. Fair enough. He's at Manchester City, and Pepper's improving. He's balling. So if he manages to,
do you think he breaks all the records? I think what we've said is that overall UCL Christian record is going to fall.
Okay,
but the tricky ones is the Messi calendar year and the Cristiano one campaign.
I think he can beat. So because the Euros are coming up.
Yeah,
and Norway are going to qualify for the Euros because almost every year because it's 20. It's more than half of the continent. So he's going to be able to get to the Euros. So because that's next year, 2024. So they're going to be games up to that, etc. So he's going to be scoring goals for his country there. And then he's going to be a year older. Like I said, this guy's only 22. He's only 22. He's got 5 or 6 years to family so many attempts to potentially break that record on top of international fixtures, etc. So I wouldn't put it past him, especially if I don't know who's coming up in the Premier League, etc. And now that he's familiar with the Premier League in his game, who test tube the Premier League. I mean, the only thing is how competitive are the other 6 or other top 6-7 teams going to be? What are Newcastle going to do? What are Liverpool going to do? United, Arsenal, etc. Those sort of top 6 teams.
RDS, just a quick point. I remember.
I caught that. I caught that. You didn't say I caught it because it's him you didn't mention. I caught it.
No, but RDS.
You know what's so crazy? I don't understand. I don't think. No. So basically, let me just get it straight. So we're not going to go through a whole. So there wouldn't be a stream where there's going to be a single subliminal. So I'm always going to get shots.
You did it to yourself.
Yes. He basically asked for it.
Yeah, but RDS, quick thing. Yeah. I mean, I remember. I mean, you are right about how good the rest of the team's going to be. But I remember when Messi and Ronaldo were banging them in La Liga. I was told by Prem fans that La Liga is garbage, and that's what I lost. So I mean, when are we going to start having that discussion about the Premier League?
I mean, in fairness, Carter, he was doing it in the Bundesliga as well. He was doing the Bundesliga and the Premier League as well. So I hear you, but he was. I mean. As a question, if Haaland did say go to Madrid, because let's say in theory, in 2 or 3 years, he does go to Madrid because there was a thing.
He'll do something.
Do you think that he could replicate some of the goal scorer form in La Liga?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
He could. He probably could.
No, my thing, and this maybe to a wider discussion, is about because it's what Rio and Vidic were saying.
I don't think Haaland will. I mean, maybe Bates might disagree, but I don't think Haaland, especially with his aging winners, I don't think he stays at City long term.
We'll get there. But this point I want to make is that I don't think that based on how football is and how defending is, which is a combo Ray and Vidic was saying, he's going to test you almost any league. Now, if Haaland was playing late 90s, early 2000s Serie with Nesta, Thuram, Cannavaro, and Desi and so forth, when people actually knew how to defend, not this clown defending us today, then it's the discussion bro, like, let's be real. Based on how open teams are, and based how there's not a single defender who I'll say is an ultimate outstanding defender, apart from maybe Peak Ramos, but he's not on the decline now.
Yeah, because right now, I would say there aren't any like pure defenders.
No.
Where like your main job is like, hey, your job is just defend,
No
like
one.
keep the. Every single defender right now is like, hey, how good are you on the ball? How good is all these things?
Although
fullbacks are to just attack.
Fullbacks are attacking.
But although I'll say that AC and Inside trying to bring it back though. AC and Inside trying to bring back that old school defender. Okay, let me come to Vero. So Vero, so to speak. Haaland's 35 piece, man. I mean, are we looking at the next great goal scoring freak of nature, freakazoid?
You're looking at a record setter. Of course you are. You're looking at someone that's.
Veto, why did you choose the background with him looking like Dragon Ball Z, Goku, and so on? For why?
I can just see Ham. I don't know if I can see Ham.
Because
who is Ham?
This is how he celebrated. He let the hair out. And he was waving it before he scored that goal against Arsenal. I thought it was only fitting to have it up there. We're witnessing something that none of us have ever seen. In the Premier League, we've never seen this. We've never seen someone set a record 32 games. Sorry, he's only played 31, but Manchester City, we've only played 33 games in the league, and this man has already broken the record with 35 goals. Absolutely amazing. I get you, eye test merchants. I get you. I want the panache, the baba-boom. I get all
Sasa,
that. The la-la, yes. But I want the goal. I want the ball in the back of the net. That's what I want. Okay? You can look all nice and the team could look all smooth.
But what if you could do both? What if you could do both? Look nice and also G up. Now that's the ultimate.
Well, until someone sets records doing both, I'm gonna take this because the goals matter. And is this the missing piece? Is this what City's been looking for? Is this
you're winning
what
the treble? You're winning the treble.
I'm not talking about the treble right now.
Paul knows what's going down on Tuesday.
My next game is against Leeds. But
We're
talking about
Haaland.
No,
Leeds.
My next game is against Leeds. Yeah, Leeds away.
Leeds.
They just sacked them.
Shut your goddamn ass up.
Leeds.
Speaking of Leeds, did you hear what Big Sam was saying?
You know what? He's very intelligent.
No. Did you hear what Big Sam said? Tell
the audience.
No, basically, Big Sam was like, nobody has more football knowledge than him. People have football knowledge to his level, but no one more than him. And he says, bring Pep, bring Klopp. There is nobody.
Bring Arteta.
It's Arteta. There's nobody in the Premier League who has more football knowledge than him, and he can put his football knowledge and knowledge of the game up against anyone. Now, Victor, here's the whole thing. Do you know that? See, Sam, he's a little bit older, so I don't think he knows a thing called memes and viral. If Pep sees that, plays that video before the game, City are at the crib, and if City 6 or 7 piece them, that's going to be used as a meme.
Pep has a burner account for sure. He is on Twitter. He scrolls on social media to see these. Yeah, it's like he
that's how
knows
you
about
stay
that.
driven. That's how you stay dialed in. That's how you deal with these critics.
Exactly.
How would he know about Lep Guardiola? He used the terms that we use on Twitter. Of course, he took a burner account.
The only thing I would say is that if somehow Sam does beat City the weekend,
that's what we thought.
It might be indication for live stream.
Actually, just to defend him slightly, I think he's doing what Mourinho did at the time. Take the pressure on him. Take it off the players.
Yeah.
I think
he's making himself the lightning rod, taking the pressure off the team. I get all that. But listen, arguably, statistically, he is an older man. He's lived more. He's traveled more times around the sun.
Wiser.
He could argue that he does no more. But I'm going to put Pep up against him anytime. Now,
hot take.
No, that's not hot take. Now, if we're gonna do this, if we're gonna be talking about Haaland and we're gonna be real about it, I need these. I'm not accusing you. This is the Football Hut. I know expert analysis, top notch. Not accusing you, but those of you that want to have some lazy takes and want to then talk about Haaland's successes because of the system, that clip that HH just played, he needs to play that back for anybody that says it's the system why Haaland's doing his thing. All right, because we've had other players in this system, and they're not doing what this man is doing. Right? No disrespect to the players that have left. They weren't proficient like this. You want to call it instinct? It's not instinct. North Americans, you guys know this. Film study. You look, you study, you figure out where you need to be. You know where the opponents are. You know weakness points. It's not instinct. It's knowledge. Haaland is doing that, and he's making it look easy because you guys are dismissing it like, oh, he's just in the right time at the right place at the right time. Oh, tapping merchant. No, man, he's working. And if you look at the goal that he scored today, look at the change of pace. Look at the anger that he had when he was running into that space. He's phenomenal. It gets overlooked. And this is year one, guys. RDS, Red Devils. I'm glad to see that he's back being a Red Devil. With what's happening in the league right now, year one,
it's but
very.
Because if it's,
I don't need him to be here for 10 years. I don't need him to be here for 10 years. I just need him to continue to do that.
But see, this is what I was saying to Terry, because I said to Terry that, no one is winning this league as long as City like this. And Terry was like, no, don't say that. Like, if United re-up, gets a few guys and so forth, like, as like,
Terry, it's not nothing re-up. It's Qatar and Saudi Arabia. That's basically the
RDS.
You need Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
Bring Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Persia, bring the ancient Egyptians, bring all the pharaohs, use all the gold, use Fort Knox.
Bro,
as long as it's Pep and Haaland, I don't know how you beat these dudes.
Well, if you see how Newcastle's been transformed in 1 year, you know what good ownership money does. You just have to have Middle Eastern tax, not American tax. In the case.
Did you see how Newcastle are trying to buy Rafinha? 80 mil. So like, if Newcastle reinforce themselves, around there, Newcastle.
Well, I mean, they did take Isak for 75, and he's doing pretty well actually. To be fair.
But that's Isak. Okay, let me go.
I said Dembele before.
So Yasser, before you go. So Yasser, thoughts on Haaland's 35 goals and him gentrifying the EPL?
Talk to me, man. Talk to me, Yasser.
No, I mean, I don't know. I can't explain this to
you. Raise your energy, Yasser. What are you talking about?
Yes, I did that edit job. I did that edit job.
You know what it is. You know what it
is.
Yes,
speak with your chest.
For Victor is. It's Christmas, it's Hanukkah, it's Eid, it's everything for him. For me, this is doomsday. This is Armageddon. This is the end of the world. Like, I give up. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think actually you said this. It is, people don't understand. It is long. Anyone that does not support Man City, good luck. Good luck.
Okay.
Yeah, good luck to.
That's how defeated mind there.
It's not defeating mind. No. It's not.
So you've already given up.
You know what it is. It's like when you have someone like, for example, like when Barca had Messi, and then he would just like cannibalizing La Liga. Barcelona, I like that comparison. They were just winning La Liga. Oh my God! Wow! No,
I know, random.
No, it's just the truth. Like,
random. Just keep going.
You look at it. I think my brother Paul can be his witness. You had Ronaldo, Bell, all that stuff up there, and it just seemed like Barcelona was always winning the La Liga. Like, it just, when you have a guy like Haaland and you add it to a team that is already OP. Let's be honest. Let's not act like they didn't win the league.
But it's good. It's good for the league. It's good for the league.
No, it's not. It's terrible for the league. What? It's actually horrendous for the league.
What? Was it not good when you guys were winning so much?
No, but
no, Vaso, stop. No, don't do that. Vaso.
I understand though.
Well,
they were winning
Champions
League. No, Vaso, 3 in a row is cool. If City are doing 4, 5, 6, then this is now the Prince Charles Invitational. It's the Prince Charles Invitational.
Okay, let's deal with that when it happens, all right? But they had a 3-peat, and he wasn't talking about it was bad for them.
The most important thing to see is that we can't have a situation where, despite everything that Haaland achieves, somehow City don't win a Champions League. That's the key issue.
No, RDS.
No. It's not flipping the script.
RDS, have you seen? Look at what this team is doing, what Haaland is doing.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's happening. It's happening. It's happening.
How many days against that game against Real Madrid? How many days?
Real Madrid are underdogs against City. You know this.
Arias, I shout out to you. I really admire you because I don't know how you have the energy. I don't. It is long. I'm here sitting there like watching this happening, and I'm out here like literally accidentally celebrating Haaland's goal because it's phenomenal. It's unbelievable to watch.
Your team did the same thing, man. Why you? What's with this energy? HH, how are you tolerating this? RDS and
Veso,
United were doing this for years, and they had no problem. Oh, this is great.
No. Let's just keep it real.
That was me.
What City are doing is scarier than United because the level of domination they're doing. United never had a guy who had 35 and 32. They never had that.
No.
It's because so where we're at right now is, remember, this is a team that's already scored
with better tech, but they didn't have that level of, so
one thing you don't understand is like it's not even about Haaland anymore. It's about Pep Guardiola now. It's about, Pep Guardiola has absolutely clowned English fans, England, RIP the Queen, Charles, anyone who has an English passport, he has clowned you guys.
Bullied the league.
He came into the league. He said,
"Yeah, see, they're going to announce the City charges before the end of the season."
I don't want to hear that nonsense.
No. 1 week before,
regardless supports a team. The people have evidence that you cheated.
No, hold on, wait. Did you what's so funny?
You will be contacted.
No. There was so funny. Like someone actually replied on Twitter and like because I put a tweet of my City they've destroyed the league, and someone just sent a tweet about with like the 300 charges that City to face.
Alleged.
Okay, hold on. Let me say. So shout out to your boy LMT Onan. If the L gets the treble, who's the real prodigy? It's still Mbappe. You can't take someone's nickname. That's his nickname, and that nickname remains. You can't just take his nickname. No, he'll always be the prodigy. No, he's the Earl of Norway. He's either the Earl of Norway or the James Bond villain, man. Oh, yeah, come on, man. Ahmed Rehman, 35 goals and 7 assists. 51 51 and 44 all comps.
You can have your va boom. You can have it.
Oh, those are stats, man. Stats, man. Look, man, all I want is for the Madrid to win one NBA title when I'm alive. So
before you switch topics,
that was quick. Yeah.
There was a quote out there back in the day. They said the only man that could have stopped Michael Jordan, right, was Dean Smith when he was playing in college. The only man that's really stopped Haaland, because let's be real, if you look at minutes played, Haaland has not been playing like that. He's had hat tricks subbed off at 60 minutes. This record could have been a lot worse.
Oh, yes.
And but at the same time, could you say like, hey, if he plays 90 minutes every single game, does he get injured? Because what Pep has been doing,
or he scores the hat trick, he goes to sleep, he's fine. The next day doesn't score as many goals.
Exactly, because that rest, it's important because we saw in Dortmund he was getting injured.
Many angles. I'm just referring to the goals. More minutes. You could argue more goals. Playing in the 90th minute with these so-called poor defenders that you're telling me about, when they're tired,
just give me UCL. Just give me UCL. That's what I ask. Give me UCL.
I hear you, Vitor, but I think actually if Guardiola wouldn't have done this management, and again, I do give props to Haaland. I don't want to. Both have massive props for what City is doing and what Haaland is doing. But I just, in a final note, without what Guardiola did of denying him maybe a hat trick, making him more hungry for the next game. You said it at times, Vitor. That made him hungrier. Perhaps if he was led to score as many goals he wanted in particular games, he wouldn't have scored as many. Maybe he would have got injured, or without getting injured, he wouldn't have been as hungry.
Yeah, Haaland does have a record of it's just like injuries that have affected him, especially in his last year at Dortmund. So there's always that.
Shout out to your boy Hamza, who says, does Haaland break the 50 goals in one league season and 21 league games scored in a row, both held by Messi?
He breaks 50 goals in one league season.
Those are both doable.
I think he can do that. 21 in a row, league games in a row, that might be a bit more.
When did Messi drop 70? Messi dropped 70 in all comps one thing.
I'm pretty sure that was in 2012. There was one season where Messi had 43 goals by like February, and like he got injured. So like, just like even though Haaland is doing well, he's still like 15, 20 goals off.
Yeah. I mean, for me, look, 50 goals is possible.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, after showing that Sam Allardyce clip, I mean, Haaland baptized Leeds at the weekend.
Look, like artists, we all know what's happening and stuff. I don't know why people do this. It was like, Sam, your Leeds. If you do that and it's 5-0 after 30 minutes, Twitter, that video will be trending. Guys, by 3:30 on Saturday, that Allardyce thing is going to be trending, bro. All right, so guys, let's move. So okay, now this is it gets real. It gets real. So, if let's say you turn on the news and so forth, and you see a bunch of fans protesting outside of your house, what would your reaction be?
What's going on in Paris?
Stand your ground, laws.
Let me.
Damn bloody fool.
All right. Okay. Ignoring that. Let me come to Vitus. I think it's a bit more level-headed. Vitus, so you see, what you see a bunch of ultras and so forth shouting, "Get out of the club!" Blah 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 blah. What would your reaction be? Because just to put stuff into context, so Neymar, I don't think Neymar was at home. I don't know whether he's at home. I don't know whether he was at home or I think he's in Brazil. I think he might be in Brazil. Right. So this is his Parisian home. So this bunch of PSG fans are outside of his home and are saying, "We don't want you. Get out of our club. Go, 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 go." How did it get to this? Where has this come from? And could we see finally the breaking apart of this PSG project that has been a complete and total abject failure from Ibrahimovic? Because they tried with Ibra, they tried with Neymar, and they tried with Messi. It failed. So is this really the end of this LSG project?
They also tried with Mbappe, by the way.
Huh?
Yeah. You forgot to mention him. The thing that's wild, right? Because now everyone has those Wi-Fi doorbells, right? So I'm sure wherever he is, he's on the app and he's seeing
Wi-Fi doorbell. Okay. Is that new?
Yeah. The doorbells now have cameras and you can actually see where the packages are delivered and things like that. So I'm sure he's probably seeing this crowd of people protesting him and saying "Get out!" and he's like, "I'm not even there. What are you fools doing?" Why has it come to this? They've been promised the Champions League. Like this was supposed to be PSG, and they were
sorry. They say Neymar is actually in Paris. So was he actually at home? Wow, damn! So he was actually at home. Bloody hell! Okay,
that's
sorry.
Vicious.
Continue. Yeah,
that's vicious, and actually,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. Now, is he the one that should be getting all of this energy? I don't think so. He hasn't done himself any favors with the seasonal vacations that he happens to have due to injury. So for them wanting him out, and again, I've heard rumors that he's looking to leave despite that amazing contract that he happens to have with them.
You don't want Messi.
Who? I don't want Messi? They're talking about Neymar.
Okay. I thought you were saying Messi.
If I said Messi, my bad. But with regards to Neymar, for him to be pushed out the door, I think the project has failed. I think it's past and gone. Good years that you could have gotten out of him, they didn't fulfill. He's been combined with Mbappe, Messi, and still not enough. The fans picking on him, they're not going to pick on Messi. They're not going to pick on Mbappe.
Well,
we'll get to that. That's why.
We'll get to the Messi because it's been a great trick. But yeah.
But I think Neymar, for his sake, he should go.
Yes,
he should go. This doesn't need to be the catalyst or what sparks it, but he should choose to go.
Vader, would you leave 120 million on the table just because a couple of hooligans tell you to get out of the country?
Yeah, at the same time, just like,
come on.
No,
do you think Neymar cares?
But passionately, I think
mental health and just basically it's like
somewhere.
No, because look, here's the thing: Neymar isn't like a starving guy on the road. He doesn't. It's a lot of money. He doesn't need the money. So for you, it's like, are you saying that like, okay, it is worth getting this 100 mil if you're going to be booed, going to be abused, people hate you, they don't want you here? It's like, okay, like if I leave this money on the table, I'm not going to be poor. I'm not going to be starving. I do have a company that my father runs, which is still very profitable. I am still pretty much a sports personality.
We're talking about a guaranteed 120 million euros.
Ricardo, have you heard the saying that money ain't everything?
Yeah, but what's to a rich person? You're not gonna say more no to more money.
If the players,
but a rich person might say, you know what, I value more my second of time, my 1 second of my life, than.
I can understand if he leaves in like the last year, the last two, but
he's gonna have to move if they carry on like this.
But
right?
where would he
He's
go?
gonna be concerned about his
Which club
family
is gonna
that
pay
are
his
around.
wages?
Like,
which club is gonna take all that
his son
baggage?
His son doesn't even live in Paris with him. He lives in Barcelona.
More reason even to not stay in Paris.
Well, I mean, he didn't have a problem for the last like 5 years. So.
True as well.
I mean, it's fair to me. How do you think this all ends up then? Because for me, in my view, though, I feel that it works best for both. I get Ricardo's point. It's a lot of money on the table. You're under contract. I should still see out my contract. But this has so broken down so badly between the fans and Neymar. And we can see that ever since that 2020 UCL final, they've not come any closer. They've actually gone further and further away from the UCL dream. It just seems that just for both parties, you might as well just disperse because it ain't never going to work out.
Yeah, the entire project has been a failure.
I think. I mean, you guys. I'm locked up, but for you single mans out there, if she's crazy, she's saying get out of my life. She's saying I'm not happy with you. Leave.
She's out of my life.
You can't. When it
advice.
calms down, don't go back. I'm telling you. It's those things have been said. The venom's there.
Vader,
you got to move on.
Vader, to be fair, sometimes there are men that they just won't let it go because it's too fire, you know.
I don't think PSG is too fire.
Yeah, it's especially one of those chicks where it's like it's worth all the headache and the mental abuse and that's the issue. That Neymar, is it worth it? Because for Neymar, are you happy at PSG? Are you happy in this environment? And we'll get to Messi. Once Messi now leaves, and it's now you and your nemesis Mbappe, are you actually going to be judged? Because I think what actually renewed Neymar's kind of love was, oh my gosh, Messi, this is my good friend at Barcelona, he came here. If Messi is now going to go and so forth, him and Mbappe, I don't think they're best of friends. They're just pretty much colleagues and so forth. And I just feel that, and this is what I said before, if Neymar doesn't win that World Cup, and especially how Brazil bow out of that World Cup, Neymar will effectively have retired from the game. Neymar has effectively retired from football.
I would say also depends, like, what are Neymar's career goals? Like, are you just trying to cash in the check, or are you trying to actually win the Champions League, or are you trying to win something with Brazil? Because as you mentioned, there aren't that many like superstar Brazilians who go like 35, 36 and like, are still world class. It's just that's not their thing. So it depends on what Neymar wants to do. If Neymar's just comfortable there and he's fine, just like at PSG, then he's not going to leave. But if he wants to win and be more ambitious, he has to. It's as simple as that. It just depends on his career goals.
Paul, what are you saying about this whole Neymar situaciones?
Yeah, it's just look. It's just I think it's what Elias said. What does Neymar want to do? Does he want money? Stay at PSG. Does he and then go, I don't know, to Arabia or MLS, or just retire? You just have lots of money. How many years has he been in PSG? What's the check has been? And if you want to actually do something with your career at this stage, just I don't know. I don't know even if he could. Maybe try to do a last dance. Maybe try to do a 2 or 1 year deal at, I don't know, at a, I don't know which team that could potentially win something wants him.
I don't know.
Chelsea.
And I think his career's over. That's what I think. And
wait, hold on. Hold on. So you're saying Neymar's career is over? You're saying it's over for Neymar?
Like, look. What profile? What does Neymar nowadays bring to your team? Okay, maybe some playmaking.
Sauce. He brings some sauce.
Okay, sauce, playmaking. That's what he brings. I don't know what kind of barbecue. Okay, I don't know. Barbecue. Maybe you know.
Samba sauce.
Samba. Okay. So he brings playmaking and samba sauce. Which team? No, let's be serious. He brings some playmaking, right? Which team that once that is going to win something, maybe Champions League, maybe like La Liga, maybe Premier League, maybe even let's think Bayern. Which of these teams are gonna need his profile?
Paul,
And
to
if
be
he
fair,
needs his
we still need a
profile,
left wing. We still need a left winger.
You take my
you
Barca?
no.
You taking my Barca?
better than Fatih and Ferran.
Wait,
Actually, I
no.
prefer Fatih
Paul.
right now above Neymar.
No, come on, no, Paul. Let's be fair.
You think
here.
Neymar, with the whole things that happened with Barcelona,
Paul.
is a good choice to go to Barca?
I'm not saying it's a good choice. I'm just saying if anybody needs a left
No, I
winger.
know.
No, come on. If you're Barca, would you risk a Neymar return or keep with Ferran Torres and your boy Rafinha and Ansu Fati?
Depends how long.
No, it would be a sepultation. It would be death of Football Club Barcelona. Alemany has already left, by the way.
No, a huge blow.
This should be talked about. The guy who did all the signings is gone, and he's going to Aston Villa with Emery.
Yeah.
I don't know why he left. There are theories.
I can tell you why he left.
No. We'll do
Let's
that.
hear this
But with name. Okay, so Ricardo, what about you, Neymar? Because Paul says that his career is over, and just before you go, like I am actually with Paul.
Okay.
Neymar's career is effectively over. I said that if this guy doesn't win the World Cup, and specifically how he goes out of the World Cup, his career will effectively be over. Neymar no longer has the love or motivation for the game anymore. His desire and love for the game is gone. So, with Paul, I don't know which top team can get Neymar, and Neymar can actually give them the productivity needed to win the biggest trophies if he has no desire left.
Question: Has Neymar had a better career than Olivier Giroud?
Oh, that's good.
He clearly is a better player.
He's a better player. But
I mean, like Giroud has won everything. He's won the World Cup.
Yeah, he's had a better career, but nobody's
Champions.
gonna remember Giroud's name to the
No one's remembering
Yeah,
Giroud.
exactly.
No one's remembering Giroud.
No, but
Neymar is a better player.
Well, only
I don't know where you're trying to go with that and so forth.
Remember his name is. That's just social media tax. But as an individual, if you look because as an
social media tax counts. Social media tax
when you look
counts.
back in your career and go like, what have I achieved? Who's going to look back? Giroud.
Yeah, but if nobody's singing your name, what's that worth? I mean, like you're only gonna talk about it with your grandchildren. Okay, cool. I'd rather have like,
Whoa. Ricardo, who's gonna sing Neymar's name? Who?
People who've actually
Ricardo,
watched it. So you're gonna sing Giroud's name to your grandchildren.
Ricardo, the PSG fans are singing his name. They're singing Death Threats, man. Like they're
he'll remember more for that than with anything.
No, but then Ricardo, hold on, Ricardo. Here's the issue that Neymar has. You say how is he gonna be remembered? Barcelona fans, they're not gonna sing his name.
Yes,
why should they?
No, but we're all gonna remember.
Wait, no. Yes, if Barca fans still have some small reverence.
Of course,
towards
they have a lot of players have played for Barcelona, but when Messi comes back eventually, this is a different vibe.
Wait, hold on. See, I actually hate it whenever you do this stuff. We're actually having a convo between Giroud and Neymar. No. Ricardo, please, back on topic. Please, back on topic. No.
For Neymar, we should. No, Paul is right. There's no big top team that's actually going to take him serious. So that further strengthens my argument. If there is no other top team that's going to take him, then why are you going to leave somewhere where you have something that's guaranteed, especially something that's guaranteed for 4 years? Now, when we look at Neymar, if you look at the course of his story, since he was like, 16, 17, 18, he's been dubbed as the next best thing out of Brazil. He's living with that pressure his entire life. Do you think he really cares what a moment in period that Parisian fans are saying about him? Like, I remember in 2019 when he wanted to come back to Barcelona, but they were gunning for that guy's head. And so this is what he's going through with the Parisian fans right now isn't something new. Like he's had this on and off like relationship with the fans and the ultras like pretty much his whole time at Paris. So this is just another episode in his story at PSG. I think for Neymar, he genuinely doesn't care about the public opinion, the public perception. He literally made a whole documentary like talking about pretty much his time since Brazil up to Barcelona and then PSG. I generally don't think that changes his mind. It's not even to mention the fact that him and his girlfriend is pregnant, so he's gonna have a baby. I don't think.
Congrats.
So I don't think, I mean, he's thinking about actually having another child, so having a family. Why is he going to be pushed into making another big move, make the situation harder for himself? You might as well just stay settled in Paris, where you're already settled and you're going to have a child on the way. I mean, I think money is the biggest
So
motive.
okay, so no, Kakara, I'm with you and everything, but if while your girlfriend is giving birth, ultras are trying to break into the delivery room, do you want that? So do you want ultras to be breaking into the delivery room while your child is giving birth?
Yeah,
Do you want ultras to be waiting in the playgrounds while your children are playing?
But do you not think? I mean, PSG, I believe, just issued a statement about that they're condemning the actions of the fans that did outside of Neymar's house.
Condemning, I know, condemning.
I mean, whatever that means, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately, like, it's just another episode in the Neymar PSG relationship that never happens, bro. Like, as that always happens, it never amounts to anything. Every year for the last like 2-3 years, oh, is Neymar going to leave PSG this time? Who's in for him? Nothing happens because his contract is too big, it's too much money, and he doesn't leave. He's gonna see out his contract, in my opinion, or at least he leaves in the last year when he's like, yeah, you know what, this isn't worth 30 million, this isn't worth 60 million, but the abuse is definitely worth 90 million, and it's definitely worth 120 million. And look, he was just in Brazil the other day, and he was in the stadium, and bro, the Santos fans were absolutely revering him. It's so obvious after this PSG, facade, he's gonna go back to Brazil, or unless he gets an offer from Saudi Arabia, which could happen. So to me,
wait, hold on. Ricardo. So Al Hilal and Al Nassr will be Neymar against Cristiano. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I mean, I don't think Cristiano will be there by then. Who knows where Cristiano will be? But he's definitely all about the money.
He's going to Chelsea, Ricardo.
Look at. I mean, Cristiano went to Saudi Arabia. Let's be honest, he went there because of the money, and I don't blame him for going. His legacy is set. Neymar, whatever legacy you think he has, whether it's a great one or not, he's always already about the money, and there's no denying that. Because, or else, if he wasn't about the money, then I would agree with everybody else saying that he has to leave. But we know where he's at right now.
Elias, talk to me. Neymar.
It's just that simple. Where can you realistically go? Who's gonna pay his wages? Who's gonna handle all that baggage? So I see very few clubs who are gonna take him. So that's precisely why I see him staying at PSG. And as Ricardo said, that the money that they're paying him, like, who wouldn't stay? Like, yeah, have people just like booming, just hire some extra security, but it's that simple. It's just like that amount of money is just you can't turn it down. And it's not like he has that many options.
So basically, that amount of money is worth looking over your shoulder every time at night.
I mean, it's a little bit.
You're putting out of proportion, H. It's not like they're just in their bedroom doing spying on them, bro.
Paul, no. I've been to Paris, and Paris is pretty sketchy. Oh, that's nice.
It's simple like this. So. If Neymar plays and he gets like a goal and assist, PSG's fans forget it. That's simple. Fans, the recency bias is just like, are you playing well? It's just that simple. If Neymar comes back from injury and he plays well, then they're going to be perfectly fine. But since Neymar's injured, he's not playing and everything, and the PSG fans are upset because, the league title isn't going well. The season as a whole isn't going well. All these different issues, the Messi, the Verratti, everything just adds on to like the whole mess of PSG. It's that simple.
Yes, it talks to me, and then it comes your ideas. Nay.
So I mean, the whole Neymar situation is a bigger picture because they went to the Ultras went to the PSG headquarters and they were booing Messi. They were literally like shouting abuse about Messi. So this is not only a Neymar situation. This is a Neymar and a Messi situation. I feel bad for the fans. I could care less about Neymar and Messi, all that stuff. I generally feel bad for the Parisian fans because at the end of the day, they want their club back. I generally believe that Nasser Al-Khelaifi has really kind of gave them some assurances about, what he's going to do for PSG. And he did some good things, brilliant things. They won Liga, so many, they dominated, et cetera, et cetera. But in a way, he took the club away from the fans. And I think this at this moment, I disagree with Elias because these are the ultras. The ultras, they're different than regular fans. Yes, the regular fans, they're probably right now on Twitter saying, "Oh my God, Neymar should leave. This is a disgrace." Well, that's the regular fans, but the ultras, those guys, they're about PSG through and through. So they had enough of this whole superstar, we can do whatever clown show that PSG is. They're tired of being a laughingstock. And to be honest, Neymar has caused his own problem, and Neymar is a grown man. He put himself in this situation when he went to Nasser Halafi and forced his way out of Barcelona, which he regrets now. Of course, you regret it. No, duh, and you regret it. You go to PSG. Why? And then now he ended up signing a contract when he was working for Barcelona. He ended up signing an extended contract for like 5 years. Why? He did it, and I think this situation needs to be addressed by PSG. I feel like Neymar, it's not about what he wants or not. I think you kind of have to put that to a side. At the end of the day, PSG is in an impasse. Is either how do you want to proceed in the future? Is this Paris Saint-Germain or this Nasser Halafi football club? Where is this a circus? I think that's the situation we're in right now. And where Neymar is going to go, these guys are the same guys that Paul knows this, that didn't allow they didn't care. I think Real Madrid came up with a bag of money to sign Mbappe. No, money is not an issue to them. It's as clear as day. The money is not an issue to the PSG. So if PSG wants to get rid of Neymar, they can. There is a solution. They can find a solution.
What's the solution? How do you get rid of Neymar? How?
I think it probably has to be something like
pay him off.
Either pay him off or
that's not happening.
I mean,
no. But if he says money is not an issue, then Neymar's okay. Fine, give me the money that I'm owed for this next 2 years, and I'm out.
Oh,
if not, I'm staying.
He's similar to what Man United and Ronaldo. I mean, it happened. Ronaldo and Man United, like they literally kind of bit parted ways. Obviously Ronaldo got paid. Or you can you can entice someone. There's going to be some guy, Todd Bowley. If Man United get the new ownership, there's going to be some person that will. Really
so basically, Yasser wants Neymar at Old Trafford.
Bro, I would love Neymar at Old Trafford.
If we finally got into the crux of the matter,
if Neymar comes in and he adds that spice to Old Trafford.
You have a fidget spinner.
He's gonna, bro.
I watch clips of Paul Pogba because we miss that flair. AJ,
you're not getting Pogba by getting Neymar.
Adios, get your man. Adios, get your man.
I need to in a political term. He's gonna go political. We should have signed Neymar.
When was the last time Pogba kicked the ball, man? Please.
No, I just. You're right. But I'm a football fan. I watch football with my eyes.
I need my players to play football.
You literally said you're a football fan, but you said nobody's gonna remember Neymar's name.
Bro, we need. Bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. For me, if Neymar does this like what you call it, his amazing touch, that touch he has. If he does like a Rabona, that's enough for me. He paid. He's paid.
Anthony on the right, Neymar on the left.
So one Rabona, 0 goals, 0 assists, 10 games played in 5 years. Then you're good.
Okay. No. But then here's the thing. Look at the people that's like literally like talking Paul and Ricardo and Elias. Bro, you had Messi. These guys have Vinny Jr. They have Benzema. Who do we have? Come on, guys.
Don't compare Neymar. This Neymar. Don't compare this Neymar. I want to be this Neymar. Because people say Vinny is doing prime Neymar. No.
Paul, this
Neymar is not close to Vinicius. It's not even close to Messi. It's not even close to Mbappe. It's not even close to De Bruyne. It's not even close to any of those.
It's not even close to Hazard.
Paul, you're right. Paul, you're
right. Okay.
Did you say Hazard?
Did you say Hazard, HH? Where did that come from?
No, do you know? I have to start working on like maybe getting my tone a lot lower, because how do people always hear me when I just sneak these things in?
It's like a trigger reaction. It's like Hazard, like Hazard.
But I said it's really low, so you wouldn't hear me. But
No, 3 years. I also heard there's a story out there. I don't know if it's true, but Neymar, when he was a kid, he asked his dad, "Hey, Dad, why is there no Brazilians that ever play for Man United?" He's like, "I don't know. You know what? I want to play for Man United." So I heard that rumor.
All right, artist, can you take the mic? So, yeah, artist,
This
Neymar.
guy's gonna get a fentanyl overdose.
Bring Neymar and Messi. Bring them to OT, bro.
Bro.
Okay, artist, can you just stop?
Some people saying that in the chat that why am I talking like he's a left winger? He could be a goalkeeper. I don't care. Okay, people saying he's a CAM, like an aggressive midfield. Look, okay, I don't care. Even if he's actually CAM, okay, if you wanted to play CAM because he can't run anymore in the left wing, you know what is worst? Because which teams actually play with the CAM in the elite? And if you need a CAM, you need someone with a much more physical. Nah, bro.
I'll give you this, HH. Neymar's having a better season than João Felix. I'll give you that. So, like, I think he's ahead of your man.
Okay.
So apparently, if you see where Atletico are, there's questions.
All right. So I think let's
that combo, by the way.
I know.
I'm pretty sure that Atletico win the next game.
Let me get this done.
They are second.
No, you can't. No, you've already used it for
That's me. Come on. You ever say like first and foremost, HH. Well, I thought this was actually supposed to be about Messi to Pete. Why are we speaking about Neymar for the last 20? The PSG fans.
Oh no. It's PSG fans went to his freaking house.
They went to his house.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying the PSG fans were chanting very negative comments about Messi as well. Given the fact
no. We're gonna get that.
Oh, you're gonna get. Oh, sorry. Okay, fine. Okay,
you know, Verratti caught a stray as well.
Yeah. Like
Marco, my Marco.
Yeah.
Some people were actually like chanting against Marco Verratti as well, man.
Oh, man.
But how did Killing get away with it? Like,
wait, hold on. Let me hear this. So,
hold on. They were
French.
complaining. No, they were complaining about the club director. So technically, they were taking shots.
Wait, hold on. Wait, no. You know what? That's okay. That was part. So Banjo Mishore, wherever he goes, he'll get at least half that more money. So I think it's probably going to Neymar. Look,
you don't want him as Stamford Bridge. You don't want him as. Come on, bro. You're telling me you want.
Well, yes. Let's first get Lampard out. Okay, I'm not talking Chelsea. Right? LMT 009. Why didn't they pass by Verratti's place? Okay, can Marco let's Marco relax and just smoke his cigarettes in peace, man, please. Thank you. Minecraft the Diamond. Did you see Neymar like the Instagram post of him and Messi in Barcelona hugging, saying that's where he was happy? Okay, because this is a nice segue, but before we actually no, this is a beautiful segue. So let me even leave this and let's go into the segue. So, Messi. Now, shout out to Lovecraft Diamond. Now, I did see this. I'm going to put something out here. What are the chances that Neymar and Messi both return back to Barcelona?
There's no chance.
Low.
Both
of them. Chance.
Let me just look. What are the chances they both return back to Barcelona? Tricky. Now, here's the thing. No, here's another whole thing. Messi coming back to Barca, I think that is very likely. Although I heard some stuff about Messi, he's talking to Inter Miami. And I'm going to put a case for MLS. I'm going to put a case for the United States of America and so forth. Elias, he's coming down your... Because yes, you're in Miami, aren't you? He's coming down your spots. He's coming down your spots. So I'm going to give an argument for him to join Elias. Now, I feel Neymar back to Barca, I think is tricky. I think that's tricky. Although football is a very weird sport, how funny would it be if come next season you see both Neymar and Messi rocking up at Barca, and no, hold up, and Ferran Torres directs a nuclear warhead to Javi and says, "Why am I not starting?"
No. You have. Look at the situation. If that happens, you would not only have that. You would have Sergio Roberto renewed.
Yeah.
Busquets renewed. Yes.
Jordi Alba renewed.
And Piqué is going to come back. Piqué will come back.
Then you have Messi back. Then you have Neymar back.
And also, if Dani Alves beats his case, he'll come back as well.
I hope it happens. As a Real Madrid, I hope not the Dani Alves thing. I hope it happens. No. I hope Neymar comes back. I hope in fact, correct me if I'm wrong. Did Roberto and Busi actually already sign?
Roberto did. Busquets, I'm hearing that he actually might not.
Okay. I can tell you, if Messi comes back, he will renew.
Can you recall Iniesta from Japan? Can you recall Iniesta from Japan? I think it's
that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy.
We're bringing Suarez back from Grand.
If you're a free agent.
No, that'd be difficult. Okay, so let's talk Messi.
Suarez coming out too.
So before I come to artists with this, so now let's give the whole timeline.
Lorient, just behave yourself.
So PSG played Lorient on Sunday. Galtier said, if we win or draw, no training on Monday. If we lose, there's training on Monday. So they lost. And this is according to Julien Laurent, who obviously has an insider on PSG and so forth. And he said that come Monday, Messi didn't see Galtier, he didn't see El Khelafi. He went straight to Saudi Arabia because he's an ambassador for Saudi Arabia. And once that happened, he's now been suspended and fined for 2 weeks. And since then, it just seems there's not been a full breakdown between PSG and Messi. And we're now hearing, according to Fabrizio, Messi is going to be leaving this summer. Here is my thing. Everyone now believes that this is all a massive green light to Messi going back to Barcelona. Can I make an argument for Miami?
No.
So, my arguments for Miami is that since you've all agreed to hear my arguments, thank you for agreeing. My thing here is, I get Messi still plays at a high level. I get that Messi can still step up and help Barcelona. Box office, Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, Jack Nicholson, Spielberg, Hollywood, House of Dragon, Game of Thrones, Snowfall is a damn good TV show. Tin Sultan, obviously not Harvey Weinstein because he's a bit weird. So all this stuff coming through, this would be box office. What's happening next summer in America? Copa America. What happens 2 years later? The World Cup. This would be a great marriage of one of the greatest players of all time coming to America to give them a full massive boost ahead of, I think, a very important World Cup. That's going to surpass the next World Cup.
Are you saying he's going back to back?
Is he going back to what?
Is he going back to back?
HH would lose it if that happens.
Hey, Ricardo, I already said that if Messi shows up in 2026, then there's a drug tax on his 2020. Then there's a drug tax. So basically, choose either you keep your one World Cup or I'm applying a drug tax to, because has anybody played 6 World Cups before?
No, never.
No. Well, Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly.
But look, my thing though is, I get it. Messi to Barca, I get it. I guess Messi to Barcelona, he can still help them. But I do feel that at one angle, Barca should move on from Messi and learn to live without him. But at the same time, I'm sorry, the majority of Barca fans will take Messi back based on how he left and how they want to give him a proper send-off. And the fact about it, if he comes in, he'll still be one of the best players there. So there are both sides there. However, as much as that may be the way in which you want to grow, I think Inter Miami would be amazing. Messi will testify and give birth to that league. He is going to, the sponsorships are going to be freaking crazy. And I feel that, basically, what Messi could do to the MLS is pretty much what Pele did. Because Pele pretty much launched football in America. back in the the 80s. I think Messi is going to take it to another plateau because let's just keep it real. Ibra, Bex was trash. Bex is a trash player. He's a free kick matcher. So Bex wasn't doing anything. So I think that
don't forget Henry.
Oh, stop it. But you need a superstar guy because see the thing about it is Pele, that was great start off. Ibra is his own PR. So he tries to convince us that he's a GOAT that's never played a single UCL final. And then you now have someone like Bex. Guy, Bex is a model who scores free kicks and that's it. He offers nothing more than that. So I don't know how Bex was going to come and promote the game apart from getting women pregnant and so forth. So I don't even know what was happening. What? So, Elias.
I thought you were coming to me.
Well, Elias. Oh, actually, okay, sorry. I said Ardis. So Messi.
Go.
PSG and Messi. Talk to me, Ardis. I mean, like, look, it's failed. This project's failed.
Well, first and foremost, actually, a big up Messi, actually, because, I mean...
Messi.
Yeah, Messi played a long game because, like, let's keep it a stack. He went to PSG, let's say 70% of money. Okay, but also because Qatari ownership, PSG, World Cup coming along, it's like, right, guys, rig the World Cup, get it laid. I need that World Cup. I'll agree to come to promote your country, promote PSG.
Oh,
and the guy goes there.
Ricardo, remember this? You came up with this theory. It's what? There's a PSG tax in our World Cup. There is. There's a PSG tax. I'm sorry. Nah. I'm calling BS. RDS, speak on the RDS. Preach RDS. Cook.
They even clothe him and everything. They clothe him in gowns and everything. They give him
this was a setup.
And he literally goes there and is like, I don't. But the thing is, what he owed them is he owed them a Champions League. So that was the agreement. It was like, you give us a Champions League and representation, you get us a World Cup. Unfortunately,
so he's actually put up his own end to the bargain. So
he clowned them. He's like, I got my World Cup, but so I got like I'm not going to go to your rival Saudi Arabia, and dunk on you. And that's why. And it is what it is. That's why Nasser is angry. Not so much because he missed training, but because he went to Saudi Arabia to promote them, and Qatar and Saudi Arabia.
No, I'm sorry. There's a tax on the World Cup, man. There's a tax on the World Cup.
They're obviously mad because where's our Champions League?
Yeah, that was part of the deal. It's like we held the end of our. No, but the weird thing about the deal is that Messi can sort of cheat his way via the UCL, but Qatar we can't because it's our World Cup. So wait a minute, it's actually doing for me because this is your World Cup, so you can pretty much give it to me. I can't give myself the UCL.
So that's they PSG with clowns and at the end of the day, they lost out because no Champions League. He's now gone. It's now gone.
That's messed up. Wait a minute. He used you. He got the World Cup off of you. I said, hey, what's a UCL? Huh? What's that? I can't hear you.
Back to Barcelona, so something like that. Yeah, he couldn't win because he was carrying Barcelona so much with all the pressure and stuff like that burned him to win the World Cup. He goes to holiday PSG, gets in a groove, part-timer. You go from full-time to part-time, gets this one.
No. I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle from Messi. I respect the hustle.
I respect him. He's ready to go. This is I respect that man. The guy's gonna get what he needs. You know what I mean? He scammed him.
That's looking at that trophy cabinet.
Yes. What? Hold on. Wait.
Where's the one with the big ears? I can't see it.
It's a John Cena UCL.
No, because the funny thing is, have you seen Messi in Saudi Arabia? He's super happy. First of all, you've been fined 2 weeks and stuff like that. That you owe a certain club a UCL, and he's fine with it. And so forth. Nah, that's a scammer.
It'll be worse. If the top off at the end of the season, because PSG only 5 points ahead of Marseille, and he gets suspended, and leaves and PSG
bottle the league.
Basically, so they're 5 points clear, and Mbappe is like, okay, where's Messi? Well, he's fine and he's not going to hit. Oh, where's Neymar? Oh, he's out of the run because he's been chased by a few ultras and so forth. So basically, PSG is actually screwed. That's so forth.
You see, you see the last game against Nam, everything is hot take, the last goal, and you see Messi suddenly going 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 against their own goal,
Yeah.
Ruling past all his defenders.
Yeah, no. But basically, let's keep it a stack. This was a complete and abject failure. This project.
Also, let's keep a stack as well.
PSG.
What is this whole fine thing? Like, he's in Saudi Arabia. You don't think they're not paying for his fine while he's there?
Basically, no.
He's actually probably getting more money. He's not lost money.
Yeah, gracias.
Exactly.
They just show this. Gracias. Muchas gracias. So yeah, of course they're paying his fine. Basically, Messi has screwed them over.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Messi, I think this is one of the greatest scam jobs of all time.
Exactly.
So he got a world. Basically, he used your country to get to a World Cup.
Exactly.
You're trying to find him, and he's getting an entire country in Saudi Arabia to pay the fine plus interest. As well, plus interest. So, no, Messi's the goal. No. I think you know what? Ricardo Elisa writes. He's the goal. 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 So, Elias, talk to me. Messi and PSG, man. Is he coming back to Barca?
Wait, just give me one second.
Okay, go for it. Paul, is he coming back to Barca? Do you see Messi back at Barca?
You know what? There are mixed things about this because the beginning I would be like, no, I don't think. I think FFP is too tight for Barcelona. But at the same time, the fact that Alemany left, and apparently, I don't know if this is true, he was one of the people not in the board, but that that took decisions in terms of signings and squad, that didn't want Busquets renewed, that didn't want Messi back, and wanted to focus on the younger players. Apparently, that's what the rumors are. If he left, maybe he saw operations that he didn't want to take part in, and maybe that one of those is Messi going back. So it's true that maybe Messi going back can help Barcelona economically. I don't know how that would work out. I don't believe the fairy tale that Messi would take a lot of cuts in his payments. In fact, I think he has not shown that a lot with Barcelona. But yeah, I think, will he return?
Well, La Liga needs a superstar, for being honest.
Hey, it's La Liga who's blocking his return. Yeah. It all depends on La Liga.
If La Liga allows it,
La Liga, Tebas.
Yeah, exactly. Like Tebas is a mess.
It's not only Tebas. It's also, let's be honest. I don't know how your FFP is, and again, as I said to HH, the fact that Alemany left, and I think he wasn't.
He's such a huge blow. He's such a huge blow because
he wasn't positive about and he was apparently a lot of decisions he didn't want to be taken and were taken.
Of course, but I think we're missing also the fact that there was reports that Aston Villa literally quintupled his salary that he was getting at.
Yeah,
how could you say no?
Exactly. What can you do? You just because for example, the financial power that these Premier League teams have, it's tremendous. It's the gap is
Barca is very weak.
Exactly. And Barcelona are very weak financially at this moment. And so I understand decisions between Alemany and the board, there's some disagreements in that salary, having basically an unlimited budget and complete control. Just how can you turn that down?
But I don't think it's only economic. I think it's part of that, those kind of decisions. I think now that Alemany left, we'll see if it's about money or not. If Messi returns, then we know there are a lot of internal problems because half of Barcelona directors don't want him back. Others want, apparently. We'll see. And in either case, Barcelona is fucked up. Very fucked up.
But let me ask this though: do you think that it would be of benefits? Does La Liga need Messi back in terms of exposure, marketing, and so forth?
If Messi comes back to La Liga, obviously that's a massive quality. Now, La Liga is not going to, revive, or Messi with his age is not someone who you can build on any league. Okay, no. Just as a matter of age, you can just brand your league. Just and you have to think about this. La Liga has just changed. Will change their logo, so they're kind of overhauling everything. So now if Messi comes back, you're now going to brand it on Messi? No, doesn't make sense. You have you have Vinicius. Maybe we'll see if some superstars. Maybe we'll see if Valde, some superstar from Barcelona, can get up. No, if Messi comes back, added quality, obviously, but he's not going to be the face of La Liga just due to his age. It's branding.
Yeah, it's
He
that simple.
definitely will be the face of La Liga for the short term. I'm honestly surprised that Vinicius isn't as big globally when you compare him with Haaland and
He's
Mbappe.
getting there. I think he.
Yeah, but I mean,
Nowadays,
if you look at who he is, he's a Brazilian. He's a flashy. He's a quality player.
He plays for Real Madrid.
He plays for Real Madrid. He should definitely be a lot higher. And the fact that his contract with Nike kind of fell off, I mean, it kind of says quite a bit that maybe whoever's representing Vinicius is not maximizing his potential. Now, I don't know if there's a Neymar tax because Neymar still plays and he's still the face of Brazilian football.
You know what? I think it is that. Think about it. So, growing up, like remember, so the first guy Brazil. There's always been one Brazil guy. So growing up, the first guy was Romario, because my first World Cup was in 1994. So Romario was this is Brazil's guy, and Ronaldo. That's when actually Ronaldo had hair. He was like a 17-year-old who didn't even play. Then when Romario got older, Ronaldo was now the guy. Then after Ronaldo was the guy, then it was then Ronaldinho. Then after Ronaldinho, it was supposed to be Kaká, but it didn't really last that long. And then after Kaká, then of course you now bring in Neymar. So my thing though is, Vini should be the guy, but because Neymar's still around and because of social media and how popular Neymar is and so forth, I do feel that Neymar is sort of getting in the way from Vini sort of really being the guy. Because really, I mean, just look at what Vini has done, how he's playing, how good he is. The fact for Real Madrid, he should be the face of Brazil.
He should be, but even like for example, I said Vinny's the one they canceled his Nike deal, but there was a reason why he canceled the Nike deal because he felt that Nike wasn't kind of maximizing his image as much as he felt. And I think I would agree with Vinny. I think he should definitely be a lot bigger. But then you look at who else is under the Nike brand. It's Mbappe, and they recently Nike signed Haaland. So what is that really telling you about Vinicius's brand? So I definitely do think that over the long term, Messi isn't the face of La Liga, but over the short term, it's obvious he's going to be the face of La Liga. And obviously, there's a thing with the heritage of Spanish football. Like when you think of Spanish La Liga football, you are going to think of Messi. He's a product of that league, and all his success has came from that league. So it makes sense, at least, like to have him back from a non-Barcelona perspective for the league, bro. Like La Liga, let's be honest, bro, it hasn't really been that interesting. Even we thought the whole Benzema Lewandowski would have revived it a little bit, but both of them have had pretty underwhelming seasons. Now, I'm not saying that Messi's gonna take it over the top, but it's better than anything you could technically get right now in the market.
Yeah, I think the fact that I don't know your opinion, okay? I know you're Barca fans, but I think for me, one of the most entertaining things that maybe could get globally, because obviously, if you see Sociedad Osasuna, something like that, it's a great game, but people aren't really globally, internationally, are not interested in it.
Yeah, for
For
sure.
me, what draws does Madrid and Barcelona have, which are the main? By the way, Atletico has been incredible post World Cup, incredible.
It's because of Antoine Griezmann. Griezmann has been phenomenal.
It's actually been because of João Felix left that bump at Chelsea.
Yeah, there we go.
I knew you were going to it's odd. Do you know how sad that is and so forth? So also, okay, so this is when you now.
If you can say this is the best thing that Chelsea have achieved all season, is that they've actually exposed João Felix being a fraud. Sorry.
You know what? I will do a little. People saying that Atletico, thanks to Felix gone. Now that's people who say that. Like seriously, I just haven't seen Atletico. They always do this. Always do this. They did this with Joao the other season. Every season, they are late game. Okay, Atletico are late game. Okay, they always do the same shit. At the last 10 games, last 15 games, last 10 games, they go berserk. They go play crazy football and they win or not, but whatever, they get the points. They always do the same thing. And at the beginning of the season, Simeone is criticized and everything.
So thank you. So it's nothing to do with Felix and so forth.
Purchase João Felix on the permanent deal then, so make it permanent.
Okay, so let me just hit this real quick. So shout out to your boy Just3. This is the ultra culture that people revere. Insults to Neymar, Messi, Galtier, and even club legend Marco. They didn't sign themselves. The QSI failed miserably. No, the product was look. PSG, build a team. Mbappe, we won deep, bro. Mbappe, you moved to Real Madrid, you might already have a UCL. You might already either have a UCL already or on your way to a UCL. PSG are never going to win a UCL. It's never happening. And I just think that you allowed the cycles to run the mental asylum. You allowed the superstars to take
Mbappe needs to learn from Messi in the scamming trade. Okay, like take the money from and then do your thing. Actually, maybe he did because they effectively gave him a country and millions of pounds to stay for a year, and then afterwards he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm leaving."
Wait. Okay, now let's look at what about joining Man City? Shout out to Ahmed Redman. So let's talk about that because I saw. You know how they do on Twitter, Messi in a City jersey. Would Pep be that scandalous and sign Messi? Would he be that shameless?
I would love to see that.
If Pep signs Messi, that would be shameless. Based on what you're doing with Messi, that would be disgusting. That's cheating. That's cheating.
I could see him do it if Man City do win the Champions League.
That's Messi's quickest way to another CL.
If there is a weakness to Guardiola, let's say, it's Messi. I think he's wonder boy. He would sign him if he could. Even though I personally think, obviously, I'm nobody compared to Guardiola, in terms of talking football. But I don't think a team which is one of their best things is putting pressure on the other team. You take Messi, which is amazing playmaker, but it's not like you lack that right now. I mean, you have great playmaking already. I don't know if what Messi... City don't need Messi. Now, Ricardo said if they win the Champions League, maybe Guardiola says, you know what?
Imagine Messi and De Bruyne feeding Haaland passes. That's easy.
De Bruyne, where does De Bruyne fit into that team? De Bruyne holds bench.
That's insane.
Bro, no, but just imagine Messi and De Bruyne feeding Haaland. Because the amount of chances Haaland is going to get, that's 60 minimum.
No.
Minimum.
Guys, if I'm listening with you, if Messi is feeding Haaland, we're looking at an average of 60 to 70 a season. EPL alone. 60 to 70 a season, EPL alone. And artists, there's nothing your Qatari money can do to stop that.
I mean, unless we sign Mbappe, So he goes to like his older brother.
Wait, hold on. So let's say Messi feeding Haaland, Fred feeding Mbappe. Are those
Fred
things?
It wouldn't be Fred. It would be
who?
Or maybe we can get Marco. Maybe we can get Marco, from PSG as well. Get Marco and Mbappe, and see what happens.
Smoking cigarettes or smoking shisha.
Wait, Ricardo, do you see Messi at City? Do you see it happening?
No, to be honest, I don't see it happening. I think there's a possibility, yes, but I think that's one of the least likelier situations. But yeah, I mean, I think he goes back to Barcelona.
But what happens if he doesn't go? If he can't come to Barcelona because of the
then
into Miami.
But that's what I'm saying.
Into Miami, he's going to Miami, bro. But if he can't go to Barca, he's going to Miami.
I genuinely
but that's the thing. But that's the thing. Messi wants to stay. He said, Messi wants to stay in Europe because Messi feels like he has to
that's what I'm saying.
At the top level,
I can only see him going to City if the possibility of Barcelona cannot happen. But
exactly,
I don't think City is going to bend over just to try to get him. I think it's going to be more of if the opportunity is there, okay, we'll take.
Exactly. Hey, if Messi wants to leave PSG and Messi's hey, can I come to Manchester City? I'll drop my wages. Then yeah, come. Just like that. Imagine Messi adding to the depth of Manchester City. It would be a benefit.
No, it would be cheating.
But you made a point. Would Messi drop his wages to City?
I mean, Messi's dropping his wages to join Barcelona.
Yeah, it is
I have to see that.
No, but I mean, Paul, if we're talking about this is the thing. If we're saying that Messi's move is incentivized by money, then bro, go to Saudi Arabia. You're not going to get a better financial.
Exactly. Messi turned down 400.
But exactly. Someone who Yeah, sorry, Elias.
Or you might as well just stay at PSG and
exactly like Messi's not looking for money because Messi like he just turned like a 400 million offer from Al Hilal. So Messi would just like Messi still wants to compete. That's the thing. Like Messi isn't looking for like a paycheck because if not, he would have been gone by now.
Yeah, but he's not competing in PSG. So if he wants to compete,
he went to PSG just for that World Cup. It was that simple.
Which he got. So.
Which he got.
So it's just that look, a team like City, who you have a lot of money, is gonna Messi say, "I drop my wages"? Like that to me is very weird because it's like saying, "Oh, I really want to join your team." And it's like Messi is not someone who's going to say, Pep, I love you, whatever. I'm not gonna drop my wages, especially to City. Maybe I would think so in Barcelona, maybe, and I would have to see that.
I hear what Paul is saying, and I definitely agree. But my thing is that I think the leverage that Messi has is he knows there's going to be a lot of commercial success with just his name alone, and that's what's going to give him leverage to get a salary that he wants. So it's the same thing. Like we can say that his time at PSG was ultimately on a sporting level was a failure, but there's absolutely no denying that on a marketing standpoint, for PSG, it was a massive success.
For sure.
I mean, that's the leverage Messi does have, especially when you put Messi in the Premier League, which has been pretty much the most marketable league. It's a win-win situation for everybody involved. The Premier League, for Manchester City, for Messi. I could see it happen. I'm not saying it won't. It's impossible, but I think it ultimately depends if La Liga allows Messi to sign for Barcelona. If he doesn't, I think that the probability of him going to Manchester City actually increases.
Mm-hmm. Let me hit this Dubinsky that we'll do to our last topic. So, it's fair. Think of the Dubinsky man. Operation Safe Football current operatives: Madrid, United, Inter, and Milan. KIA Arsenal. If Pep gets a treble, we should all go bald and join HH in shamelessness. You know what? Here's the thing. What I've said. RDS it'll be fun, but you're getting beaten at the FA Cup final. You're getting beat. So, don't respond. So, and Paul, I think that City's harder game is actually going to be the final. I think City comfortably beats Real Madrid.
Yeah, HH, you have no juice left.
Yeah, exactly. Like you use all that, like you're for the World Cup.
You used all your juice in the last World Cup.
Ricardo.
Yeah, exactly.
Ricardo.
No,
Ricardo.
You have been taking nothing but L's since the World Cup.
Exactly. You've been taking nothing but
Ricardo. Listen, Ricardo. I don't want to go into any details.
You're not.
I've taken L's in football. Ricardo, I'm taking L's in my private life. So I don't want to. In my private life, so I'm like, this has been a rough 5-6 months. So I've been taking L's on both spectrums. So with the shades and without the shades, I've been taking L's. So it is what it is. So I just think that look, it's
man, you're not him no more. Right? You lost. You lost.
So no. For me, I think look, guys, City are winning the treble, and when they win the treble, I have to now discredit.
Are we gonna call him Trebiola?
We should.
No.
Should.
Oiliola. No, we'll call it
we should.
Oiliola. Let's call it the Oiliola, and so forth. He brought his wins to the treble, man. And now this better not be true.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
You're lying. Is this true?
I just saw it. Yeah, it was a post where.
You see now, Ricardo. Let's go back to what you were saying before. If this is true, Ricardo, what are we doing here?
You're a small club, though. I mean, I don't see a lie in it.
No, Ricardo. If this is true, how do you now start operating as a player? If with the ultras, if you like to suppose calling them a small club, like Ricardo, how do both parties move forth?
See, but Neymar never liked PSG.
Straight business. Let's be honest, bro. Let's completely.
Alias social media attacks.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Neymar completely regrets leaving Barcelona.
Yes, obviously.
He doesn't give a flying fuck about PSG. And he doesn't, bro. He doesn't care. He is a proper dickhead when he wants to be a dickhead, and I just don't think he cares, bro. Like he's getting paid. He's like, I don't care, bro. Your opinions, your emotions on me, it's not gonna affect my money. Like, stop pocket watching, you baguettes. Like I'm making money.
You baguettes.
I'm sorry, that's how I was. Bro.
Just call him baguettes. Oh my god. Okay, so guys, let's hit this. So I'm going to put this out here. So I'm going to ask two questions, and I'm going to come first to Paul with this. First thing, is he Prince Charles tax? That's the first thing. Second thing is this actually a good move for both parties? So, guys, Jude Bellingham. Now, okay, well, there's that as well. So now, we're now saying that there are rumors or reports that Real Madrid are pretty much close to signing Jude Bellingham, and it's going to be sealed in the summer.
I thought he was going to Liverpool or Chelsea. That's what I was told by Liverpool fans.
Because that's what we heard.
That's what I was told. They were saving up the money this summer to get him.
There's a Twitter thread. There's a Twitter thread that says Real Madrid not only owned us on the pitch several times, they're now owning us in the transfers and stealing our transfer targets. So there's a thread on Twitter about that. So I think
it's Don Hassan who said. I think he I mean, I won't play the clip. I respect to him, but he said something on the lines of like, "We are definitely getting Jude Bellingham. Otherwise, I'll shave my hair." So shout out to.
So he's now bald. So basically,
I think that's a work in progress. So shout out to Don. Not be a concept man, but yeah.
So my thing though is this: I like people that's better than themselves. And Jude Bellingham is better than himself. In my honest view, I thought Bellingham would go to Liverpool. England, less pressure, and you can now sort of ease into your career. So I thought Liverpool would be the place to go. Now, opting to go to Real Madrid, that is a whole different ball of wax because you're dealing with great pressure. There is no, and I'm sure Paul will expand upon this, there is no higher pressure cooker. There's no place that puts more pressure on you than Real Madrid. Jude Bellingham is talented. He is a talented player. Is he a guy that say, oh, he's going to be the next big thing? I don't know. I see a talent. I just don't know how big the talent is. This wasn't when we saw a young Neymar, a young Pogba, a young Messi, a young Haaland, where we knew as a 18, 19-year-old, these guys were special. For Jude Bellingham, my fear is Prince Charles hype. Because there is a Prince Charles tax on several English players. Prince Charles told me that Rooney was the white Pele. That's what Prince Charles told me. Prince Charles
Rooney
told
was
me
good,
that...
though. Rooney was good, though.
But white Pele though, that's the thing. So Prince Charles told me that David Beckham was a world-class football player. That's what Prince Charles told me. So Prince Charles has bullied me several times. Now, Jude Bellingham, ish. So Jude Bellingham, quality player, and I feel that. You see, that's why. If Real Madrid are going for you, they must see something in you. So they must see something in you, just as they've seen something from Endrick. But I'm just saying to Jude Bellingham, you are going into a high-pressure cooker. Once you fail at Real Madrid, that's it. You get no do-overs. You get no do-overs, and there is very little time given to you to try to get back on your feet. So with this, I'm like, well done, Jude. You're betting on yourself. I think that he is a talented player. I'm just not sure whether he's on the level of a Vini, a Tchouaméni, and so forth. So I would love to see him prove me wrong by succeeding at Real Madrid. So there we go. Paul, talk to me. Thoughts on this?
Well, first of all, until I don't see him with a shirt, don't assure anything. Especially with the other opponent in the race for him, which is City, which for me, it probably is a better fit for him. If I was him and I was thinking purely of football, he has a spot more secure in City than in Madrid. He is English. City is an English team. He will play in the Premier League, the most marketable team right now in the world, by big margin. I don't know. I feel like all-wise, City is a great project, but I think there are a couple of things that people are saying. Because I hear a lot of City is a better project, and I'm like, it might seem so. City is one of the best projects right now, if not the best. But Madrid is doing a thing. Madrid is doing a hidden Galacticos. Because people are saying, well, why don't you buy a right back and why don't you buy a striker? By the way, there are rumors that Madrid want to sign a striker also with Bellingham, but I don't know if that will happen. Look, you have to think the following: when does the Bernabeu renovation end, and with which player do you want to make it? Bellingham is not only a signing. Bellingham is not only a big signing, Bellingham is the signing, and at least that's how that's how Florentino Perez sees Bellingham, because he hasn't signed this in a summer. He has signed Bellingham in the summer of the new Bernabeu. Bellingham will be the player that will open the new Bernabeu. If Florentino and if Juni Calafat, which is probably the best, I don't know what his position really is exactly, scouting, he does several things. He's the best at what he does in the world. I don't care. I don't give a damn who you have in your team, in your club. Juni Calafat is the best. If these guys have bet everything on Bellingham to be the guy who opens the new Bernabeu, I'm nobody, no one to say anything about it. Bellingham is an incredibly talented guy. I agree. It's not like you see Messi. It's not like you see Cristiano. It's not like you see Neymar, right? I see he has, but you have think it as Bellingham. Okay, probably the first couple of first years won't be as good. Still Kroos and Modric. We should talk about that because they are renewing apparently.
Oh wow!
Probably the one who is sacrifices Ceballos. If you're gonna get Bellingham, I understand that. As long as you make a good sell for him, you're gonna have Camavinga, who you play as a pivot or as a left back, or even a right back. I don't care. Who for me can be one of the best in history if he comes down like this.
Absolutely,
it's crazy. Guys, I'm gonna say this very straight, just fast. It was a long time since I watched Real Madrid and didn't say, I don't give a fuck about the game. I just want to see that guy. I just want to see Camavinga play. That's only worth tuning. But anyways,
he's a talent. The guy's a talent, man. He's a talent.
He's the biggest talent in the world.
And also and what I say is like, a time when you're playing in your weaker position and you're benching a player in his stronger position. That's crazy, which is what Camavinga is doing.
It's absolutely crazy.
Hey, go ahead, my fault.
No, it's just that I know I'm talking a lot, but
no, good.
You have Valverde, which are people underrate, but his work is very important for transitions and for how Madrid works. And who tells you Madrid hasn't looked at Frimpong? Madrid hasn't looked at several right backs, several full backs to go into next summers. What Madrid is doing a hidden Galacticos, and when you see it, you're gonna see a fucking star of a team. You already have the best core midfield of the world in terms of young talent. I think we can agree on that. Unless some very potent people in the world start appearing,
Well, Paul, on Twitter, they said that which is better, so Jude, Valverde, Tchouaméni, or Pedri, Gavi, and Frenkie de Jong. I think Ricardo posted that. Ricardo posted that. Ricardo posted that.
I don't even post on Twitter.
It's not.
So Paul, what do you have to say about Ricardo's score?
He said it. Ricardo said it in Twitch. No.
No, and on Twitter as well. His Twitter, he posted on Twitter.
No. But no. In terms of talent, it's miles ahead. Madrid, obviously, and I rate a lot of Pedri. Frankie's. Barcelona midfield is great. And I think Gavi's underrated and is having a rough patch.
So, but Paul, do you see Jude as a Madrid star? Do you see him as a Real Madrid star? He could be a Real Madrid superstar.
Man, if he chooses, I'm gonna tell you something. If I think it fits him very well, and I will say more. If he chooses Madrid over City, he's choosing a lot of money still, but less money. He's choosing a less secure spot. He's choosing more pressure. Man, and he's choosing a decade. 1 year after him, you have to think as a midfielder. 1 year after him, Kroos and Modric aren't going to be there. Benzema is not going to be there. At least Camavinga, at least Valverde, these guys had them, This guy's going to have 1 year of them. And then what? He's going to be the main target of that midfield. Like, hey, you know what? You were the Galactico midfield. Where is your work? If he chooses that, he is Madrid talent. I don't give a fuck. Whoever wants to play Madrid, like if you play Madrid, you want to play Madrid. That's it. That's why Mbappe isn't playing. That's why we say Mbappe then isn't material. Is material for Real Madrid. He has amazing talent. His talent. He could play anywhere. He could play Madrid. He could play whatever. If he didn't choose Madrid, it's because he's not from Madrid.
No, but I think Paul makes an excellent point, which is the money point. Because facts, City would offer him more money, and you're in England. So if he's choosing Real Madrid, it's because you think you're that dude, and you think you're that guy, and you recognize what Real Madrid is. That it's like, if I can succeed here, you can succeed anywhere. So that is why I'm like, balls of steel. Balls of steel on this kid of like, okay, you really want to do this now, knowing the kind of pressure this is? Okay, because that's huge.
Now, quick pause, if that's okay, on this Madrid topic.
What's it called? Yes. Thoughts on Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid potentially?
Jude. Jude, I'm biased. I love Jude. I love this kid. There's certain people. There's certain.
He wants about United.
Well, Ollie scouted him as well. He wants him.
Did he?
Yeah.
He scouted him before he was at Birmingham. He wanted him. He came to Old Trafford, and then he chose Dortmund over United.
You know, I don't like watching championship games, but when I do it because I want to scout. I don't like watching I don't like watching the Scottish League or even the Eredivisie. But when I do, I scout. I scouted this kid. This kid is special. Like, I don't. People. I get it. He's overrated in a way. He is. I get it. But the talent is there. The talent is unbelievable. Right. I'm not gonna lie to you. Before Liverpool was linked to him, he reminded me at Birmingham. He reminded me of a young Steven Gerrard. He did. That's what he reminded me of. That's the first player that came into my mind. This kid is a one-of-a-kind talent. I was begging Southgate to play him.
But I also, sorry, do you know what's so crazy? And I don't know whether this is true, but I'm pretty sure it's true. Birmingham City have actually retired his number.
Yeah.
Like, because he was such a unique talent, they've actually retired his number, which is crazy for a guy that's young.
I think it was 17 when he was there.
Yeah, he was the youngest in the championship at the time.
Here's the thing. I love the fact that he picked Real Madrid. I love it because I didn't want him to pick. I didn't want him to pick any Premier League team. The reason being for that is two things is gonna happen.
Not even for United?
No. I would love him at United, but in my preference, because when I like a player, I always like to think of what is best for the player as well. I don't like to be. In a way, I feel like being selfish is sometimes, as a fan, it's like. I want the human side. I got to look at the human side. For him, best place to go to was 1,000% Real Madrid. Why? Because if he has talented that I believe, I don't think he will be able to show it in the Premier League. And that's just my opinion. Because unless he went to Man City, of course. But if he didn't go to Man City, it's going to be tough for him to carry.
So why don't you think Pep could allow him to show his talents or Klopp or anybody?
Pep is different. Pep and Messi is different. But then there's the tax where you're joined an unbelievable team and you just become a part of an unbelievable team. How can you? Is it? You can stand up, but then you still have De Bruyne, you have Haaland. This is a team. Liverpool, you will stand up, obviously, but. Can you at 19 years old carry that Liverpool team? Like, that's gonna be crazy. And the hate from United fans or other fans are gonna be there. If you go to United fans are gonna hate you, and then rival fans are gonna hate you the moment you don't hit the ground running. Real Madrid, yes, the pressure at Real Madrid is unbelievable, but I generally believe that that's what he needed. He needed to get away from the whole English thing. You're an English boy. You're English this. You're English that. And focus on football. When you go to Real Madrid, if you don't focus on football, Real Madrid will eat you up. And that's what he needed. Get away from the paparazzi and the propaganda. Jude, the English boy. Forget about that. The kid that came from the wonder kid that left and from Birmingham. Forget all that nonsense. All that English media hype. Everything. Put that to a side. You are Real Madrid now. And that's what he needed. He needed Real Madrid badly. He needed Real Madrid because I generally believe Real Madrid will not only he will take him to an unbelievable level. And the best thing about it is all of England will fell in love with Jude. It will not be because when you come to Premier League, we're tribalists. We're tribalists. Let's be real. We're tribalists. It's hard to, even though you like a player, it's hard to support a player who plays for Liverpool as a United fan. But now you're outside, and if you do well for Real Madrid, bro, you'll be a hero. Everybody in England will love you because you're not playing in our league. So, and then I know a bongo whore and the weirdo and Talk Sport are gonna start chapping and be like, "Oh, look at him! He chose Real Madrid. He cannot do it in the Premier League." Yes, they're gonna be the nonsense media in England where
no. Yes, that's EPL proven has now been gentrified by Erling Haaland, so no one can bring that up anymore. So.
But it's the thing is, Paul said it. Yes, I know it might not be long, but to have even a year, where he plays with Kroos and Modric is like a college degree. Like I'm playing midfielder. Yeah, that's what it is. Like it's like you're going to school for 4 whole years because the amount he will learn so much under them guys, and then the pressure, which I believe will turn him into a diamond of playing for Real Madrid, where they don't care that you're Jude Bellingham, they don't care you're Galactical, they don't care you're English. Because when he's in England, there'll be notions where because he's English, he'll be protected. We've seen situations. There's no protection. It's about football.
Okay.
This is what he needed.
Ricardo, talk to me. Jude to Real Madrid.
Before
anything,
Paul. There is a great point, a great point that Yassir touched upon, and that is the market. And I don't know if he thought about it, but when he was talking, Madrid are very interested in the English market. You're going to have a player that if he actually performs like Madrid expects him to, Madrid is going to have the whole English market, let's say, of all the marketing of Madrid in England is going to be massive. And this is crazy when you think about how big is now, especially now with the Premier League, Englandese football. So Bellingham is also a gateway. If he's treated properly, it's a gateway to English Real Madrid.
No, because I think, do you know why that's key? Because it's like, right now, I think ITV show 1 game a weekend in La Liga. Mm-hmm. So it's basically, when I was growing up back then, Sky Sports had full-on La Liga, and like there was a whole La Liga thing. Then that stopped for some reason, and then blah blah blah. It didn't happen. But I think it's true. If he does go, and it's Real Madrid, and it is a big signing, it's a marquee signing. With him being English, for sure, there's going to a big TV station will now have full La Liga rights for the full season, 100%, because English markets will eat that up. They will eat that up. Of like, oh my gosh, like one of our young prize talents is in the biggest club in the world.
It's especially true if the form carries over to the national team. Because it's Euro 2024 next summer, effectively. So obviously, if he has a good but
then look at how well he played at the World Cup. Let's be real. He was actually one of England's best players at that World Cup, and it's his first ever international tournament. So
I'm saying it takes up and never, because like if he has obviously good first seasons for Madrid, and then that then carries on into a fantastic European campaign, then it further feeds into Paul's point that will massively increase because suddenly people like this potentially might be the next like hyped sort of guy, and then so the interest from the English market into La Liga via Real Madrid to see his games, etc., will increase as a result, because he's obviously, it's not just performing well for Madrid, he's performing well for his country as well, and that obviously piques their interest in the league as well. So yeah, Paul's right actually.
Ricardo talks about Jude. Seems like a match made in heaven if he performs.
I mean, I think he's a great player. I just think he's incredibly overpriced. I think that obviously has to do with the English side of things. I do hear what Yassir is saying, I do hear what Paul's saying. I do agree. I think, however, the pressure is very, very different when it comes to British players playing in foreign countries. I do give a lot of credit to British players when they do play in foreign countries, because a lot of the times British players, it's either one or two things. They get sucked in, warped in with the whole, you have to be great in your own country. I mean, they live in that culture. They assume that it's the biggest culture. And it's for them, it's only the Premier League and that's it. That's all they know. That's all they grew up, which is fine because they grew up around it. At the same time, a lot of the times you could argue that British players are actually scared to go to other leagues that are far more technical. Obviously, La Liga being one of them, and maybe even the 90s, it's a Serie A. Remember, England hasn't always been the best league. I mean, it's only as of recent where they genuinely have been the best league.
Just on that point though. So I remember when McManaman went from Liverpool to Real Madrid, and when he now came out to England team, he was better. Like I actually noticed the difference from when he was playing for Liverpool and when he was playing for Real Madrid, and he actually improved. You see, for Owen, you can add there was injury tax there and so forth. But it is so funny though that it's just such a shame that there is still a bit of xenophobia in England of like, oh, England is the best. What are you foreigners doing? Basically, Brexit tax. If more England players moved and played in Italy, in Spain, and so forth, it actually benefits the national team.
No,
because you're not bringing a whole blend of styles and so forth. But
quite frankly, I don't care about the English national team, but I think for the most part, like I give more credit to players like Gareth Bale. He's by far the best British player of all time, and that guy's not even English. Guy's, Welsh. So that says a lot about English players. Even Harry Kane, he had the opportunity to go to Real Madrid at one point, didn't do it. But
still good potentially if they're looking for a striker.
I don't personally don't think
Kane
so.
is not going to Madrid.
No. Kane isn't leaving England. He wants to break the record.
And I personally think Kane had the quality. But I mean, obviously that's just hypothetical. But with Jude, I think it's a very interesting situation, a very unique situation because he's developed in England, right? I mean, not in England. He came out of the Academy of Birmingham. And then he pretty much developed in Dortmund, right? So he didn't even develop as a player mainly in England. For him going to Real Madrid, I think it's great in terms of what Real Madrid can offer him. For example, Paul says it's the utmost pressure. And yes, that is technically true, but I think for English players it's actually different because the worst thing that Jude Bellingham could have done is believe that England loves him because he's so talented, but the moment he signs a contract with whatever English team, they think that he's still going to be loved. No, the moment you sign a contract with any Premier League team, the only one team is going to support you, and it's going to be the team that you signed for. So, and the fact that he obviously understands English and whatnot, it's going to be more. There would be more pressure on him in that regard if he had chosen England over going to Spain. Him going to Spain, yes, he will feel pressure from the club to perform because it is Real Madrid. End of the day, the guy doesn't know Spanish at all so far. He eventually will learn. But I guess for foreign players that don't understand Spanish, they can somewhat block it out. Like Gareth Bale, he was almost like immune to the criticism because he's just like, okay, I partially don't understand Spanish, but at the same time, I am my own person too. For Bellingham, this is great because the way I can see it too is that let's say he's going to Real Madrid. Let's say he fails, right? Let's say he doesn't do well, blah, blah, blah. And then Real Madrid are looking to move on from him. The reality is that he's still going to have suitors in the Premier League because it's still an English player that are willing to take a chance on him to revive his career, even though he fell off of Real Madrid. But it wouldn't be like that in the inverse. If he had gone to the Premier League and done magnificent, there's like, who knows, maybe he does end up Real Madrid, but if he goes to the Premier League and he flops, there's no way he's ever going to Real Madrid. So I think he's obviously taken a smarter decision of joining Real Madrid. Obviously, Modric and Kroos are there pretty much on the last ones. I probably think that next season is definitely probably going to be their last season.
But you have to perform that because I think as much as I get with you that it's smart in how you're comparing England and Spain first and England first, but we saw it with Kaka. Obviously, he was injured and so forth. Cannavaro, it didn't work out. Robin, it didn't work out. So my thing though is you're betting on yourself. But you have to realize that this is still a much more pressurized move, going to Real Madrid as your first big move as a youngster, as opposed to moving to a Liverpool.
Yeah, for sure. But the difference is that Bellingham is English. The most dominant media in football is English. So I think when it comes to English players, there definitely is. Like I can't remember I can't name one player that has been eaten up by the English media and actually came out alive. Like when things go bad for English players, like it goes bad.
Yeah.
And the only time it doesn't go bad for English players is when when their career has actually never gone bad. So I mean, there's only a few players that have survived that have gone through that route. But typically, when things go bad with English players, they never seem to recover. But I think for Bellingham, it's going to be interesting because now for Real Madrid, you're going to a team where Kroos and Modric are looking like the Madrid are looking to transition them out smoothly. So you're going to have a midfield of Chouameni is pretty much going to be your defensive midfielder, and then whether Valverde actually plays in midfield or he plays on the right side. I mean, I don't know if Real Madrid are ever going to sign a right wing or they're just going to have Rodrigo there just for the sakes of because he can fill up that role. And then Camavinga, I mean, there's a lot of questions still to ask, but I think, in my opinion, it's better to have these problems than not to have these problems because is Camavinga going to be your starting left back for the next season? Like, at what point are you actually going to start utilizing Camavinga to his maximum potential? Now you add another guy like Bellingham. Don't get me wrong, competition is great, but somebody's going to have to suffer at a cost. And so, I mean, who knows? I mean, I think it's a right direction for him. I think Real Madrid definitely made a right move in getting him. The price I don't necessarily agree with, but we're just going to have to see how it unfolds.
RDS, talk to me. Jude.
I mean, first and foremost, this is the second summer in a row that like Madrid basically like dunk on Liverpool because I'm fairly sure. I'm fairly sure last summer.
Man, you are the biggest troll in the world.
No. I'm asking the panel a question. Last season they were going.
I'm not answering the question, so.
and they were definitely sure of getting them, and Real Madrid signed him. So now they were definitely going for because they had the talks. Gerrard spoke to him. Henderson at the World Cup, come to Liverpool, etc.
You saw him grooming him.
They're going to sign him.
Don Hassam saying that, like, from Henderson recently in the interview.
You saw that?
Don Hassam was saying he should shave he's going to shave if he didn't come. So they were confident. And then a big club like Real Madrid comes in as like, and what? And the rest is history. So in fact, rumors were actually what's his name? At Bellingham, there was a leaked interview where it talked about him like when he's making decision, like somebody needs to verify it, but it was along the phrases of like he was more interested in the heritage and history of the club. So he didn't feel like a lean towards like a City or a Chelsea or those sort of clubs.
Oh, wow.
He actually uses Chelsea in the word.
Wow. We have history. We have
he
history.
Actually uses it.
We have history. Okay, we have history. Okay.
I know, but he
uses
those clubs. I want to go to a club with actual heritage.
We have
actually have heritage. So
but no, Russian, bro.
As far as his performance in I obviously echo a lot of what Paul has said because this is a big I mean, you could probably even get wager even at a young age because he was 17 when he decided to leave, like go from Birmingham and decided because he could have come to United.
Yeah,
he could have come to United. All he had scouted him and Haaland in that January transfer window. But thanks to that brick Ed Woodward, who now is no longer at the club, we lost particularly two players who went up being world class.
Imagine! Oh my gosh! Imagine Jude and Haaland at United.
Low-key, Ollie was a good scout. Ollie was a good scout when he was like, "You guys get me those two players."
Bro, you don't even understand. You don't understand. We could have had Julian Alvarez under Rangnick. We could have had Julian Alvarez. We could have had Moise Caicedo. But you
didn't. You have Fred and McSauce.
So
you have Fred and McSauce.
And Dr. Board and Ed Woodward, So, but what I'm saying is that, like, at 17, you decide, listen, I could be comfortable like so many English players, and join United and do my things, go into a big club, or I could go to Dortmund, who are known to develop players, and improve. And obviously, went to Dortmund. So there is a mindset there, at least, of someone who's willing, even at a young age, because it's not like he's in his early 20s, like he's 17, to think the priority is my career progression than necessarily like who pays the best salary at the time, or certain clubs that have like zero history, So I wouldn't be surprised if eventually this becomes confirmed and Bellingham does sign for Real Madrid. It'll be interesting to see how he fits in Real Madrid, given obviously the players they have currently. But is there an English tax with Bellingham? I mean, possibly. I mean, I think it'll be. I don't know who's got. Are we? Is it sure that are we? Are we absolutely sure that Carlo's going to be Real Madrid manager next season?
No.
Doubtful.
Yeah. So I think it will be interesting to. I think a lot of it will be contingent on who is going to be Bellingham's manager. Like so, now even though I've dissed Liverpool, I know for a fact that under Klopp he would ball. Under Klopp he would ball. I have no doubt about that. So my doubt comes into who replaces Carlo Ancelotti in the season if he leaves. Because if it's someone like if they get Jose, for example, no disrespect to Jose, but I don't think Jose can really unlock Bellingham. He'll do an Obi Mikel. He'll do Obi Mikel. He'll do an Obi Mikel.
Oh, wow. Turn him into like a DM.
Turn into a DM. That's what Jose.
You know, like I love Mourinho. He's the GOAT and so forth.
Yeah,
I'll never like. That's just the one thing that I can never forgive him for what he did.
So it'll be very much. So I suspect his success, not completely, but will be based on who comes in and manages Real Madrid. Yeah, that's my
Elias, talk to me. Jude to Real Madrid.
I'd say it's a good signing, but I agree with Ricardo. I think he's massively overpriced. I have one question for Paul. Paul, would you rather spend 100 million on Jude or spread it into the squad? For example, get a new pair of fullbacks, backup striker, right wing. What would you do? Because if I was Real Madrid, I would be looking at like other areas on the pitch. I wouldn't be looking at solely on Jude.
Right. I mean, I get your question, but who? Give me names. Who can Madrid sign to a good level? That's the problem. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you're telling me, for example, I would sign, if I were Madrid, next year I'm signing Frimpong for the right wing, for the right back. No,
yo, relax. That's our player, bro.
no, but like I tell you, like
you sign Dumfries. He's available.
No. I mean, if Reece James is available, Madrid is surely gonna try.
Well, there is VJ.
No. I can absolutely tell you, if Madrid sniff an opportunity to sign him, they're gonna go hard. They're gonna go hard. So
Reece James is at Chelsea for life, so that's.
Chelsea might get relegated though. So Chelsea get relegated.
Okay. Is Chelsea gonna win a game before the season finishes?
Elias, I think that the topic is Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid. So let's just stay on topic.
I will keep answering.
We'll preview game of the weekend, man, because that's a big game.
Yeah, it is.
Paul,
tell me there are very good. There are good options, for the right back, for the left back, for the striker. Then I tell you, I would prefer to spread it out. Maybe the thing is, you can't really sign Madrid level players anymore, or even talents anymore, for 50 millions. That's extremely rare to do what the Camavinga thing. That's extremely rare.
Yeah, you need very good very good scouting, to really find these guys.
And so the thing is, if you give me names, if you tell me, well, there are these guys, and I see them, and I go, okay, well then I would prefer to have a great right back and a great left back and a great number 9 instead of just Bellingham. I don't think that possibility exists, so I prefer to get Bellingham.
Okay.
That's mine.
And then one more thing. Looking at that midfield, for example, Tchouaméni, Valverde, Camavinga, and Jude, I think they're all very similar types of players. Like I don't see like a Cruz type player in there. I don't see a player who can control a midfield and dictate the pace. I think, for example, Jude, he would do well in games going end to end, like those type of games, open games. I believe, for example, if a La Liga team drops deep and sets up in deep blocks, with that midfield, can they break down these teams? Because yes, I think they're great technically, but they're not the same type of player as, for example, Cruz. To basically say hey guys, this game is getting out of control. Let's slow down the tempo. Let's slow it down. Let's cool the game down. I don't see that type of player in that Real Madrid midfield. I think that's the only problem that I would see from Real Madrid, because yes, these guys are end to end, but I don't see a controller in that midfield.
I mean, no. I think that's actually a very fair point, because I think because you want a complementary. I think you want to have that DM, you want to have that run, you want to have the box, then you want to have the controller, you want to have the guy that can pick up on a defensive block. So yeah,
because
yeah, exactly.
I agree. Right, you need various things in the midfield. I just don't think it's as easy to sign a player, because you tell me who exists in the world that can do what Cruz does, because I would argue that no one right now.
Yeah, exactly.
No talent can do that. And the thing is, Cruz couldn't do that with 23, 24 years of age. No player is what no player in Modric couldn't do what Modric does now or did 2 years ago. Modric didn't do that when he was at Tottenham. No, or at least not the degree. For example, I think Tchouaméni can actually good. There are players that I see. Obviously, I don't see Valverde dictating the tempo in the future, for example, but I can see Tchouaméni doing it. I don't see maybe a Bellingham doing it. Well, not necessarily, but I could see a Camavinga doing it. So it's not.
We're not repping Rabiot in 2023. We are not repping Rabiot in 2023. Please, thank you.
You're not just paying. You're not just paying for this and that's it. These are people that are going to grow. So even though I agree, Kroos is irreplaceable, but it's like, I mean, for me that's not a problem because it's not about replacing them. It's about having another elite midfield, even though it may have other qualities. So
Eduardo Camavinga, he's the closest player.
Bro,
I'm gonna say this right now. I think he's a better talent than Paul Pogba. I said it.
Stop. Stop.
Yes, here. I'm going to go with you. I go with you.
Guys, stop it. I know there's witchcraft stats and stuff and everything. Stop it. We're not. Camavinga may end up having a better, more fruitful career than Pogba overall. But Pogba as a talent, come on.
Did you see the game?
The way that people talk about Camavinga, you think he can play as a striker as well?
Who knows? Maybe he probably can.
How are we saying that Camavinga is a better talent than Pogba? Just for pure talent. Forget about what you do in the pitch for pure talent.
Wait, but hold up. You said, but HH, you said yourself for pure talent that Pogba was more talented than Messi.
When did I say this?
Wait, you said that?
Do you want me to get
no way. Well, I mean,
try and I'll kick you out. Try and I'll kick you out. Please try to receipt and I'll kick you out. So try. So I never said that. So my thing is Camavinga is a great talent. He's a great talent, but come on, when I say he's more talented than Labille, I get it. Labille has had a horrible career. He has failed most of his career, even though he does have a World Cup, which weighs heavy. But come on,
I just want this to in 3 years, after Shearer has been clowned and everything, and Breakdoor, and everyone thinks I'm deluded and everything. In 3 years, we'll see what Camavinga is doing. Same as when people were comparing Gavi to Camavinga 1 or 2 years, which fair enough, Gavi had a much better year.
Well, Paul, the issue is, you need to watch Camavinga. The thing about Camavinga that's amazing about him is he's like a jack of all trades. Like he's like a chameleon. He can turn into any player he wants. At one point, I'm like,
the way he moves, it's everything, bro.
He might be the Black Messi. I'm just saying.
Okay, all right. Okay. Wait. So let's do Dubinsky's man. So, shout out to Eddie Martin. Real Madrid can have the Liverpool reject McAllister. Real can have the Liverpool reject. McAllister is better.
Do not disrespect.
Okay. McAllister is quality. McAllister is quality. But Eddie, don't now call what's it called, Jude a Liverpool reject because he's going to Real Madrid, not to you guys. Come on, that doesn't work out. That doesn't work out. What does that? From Fusco Olalaye, who says, thank you for the dub, man. Even if Mbappe fails at Madrid, God forbid, he's always going to have the top English teams twerking for him. Madrid rarely go for players twice.
And with Vini like this,
do we still think Mbappe is going to end up at? I think there's a good chance that both Mbappe and Haaland actually don't end up going to Real Madrid.
There's a good chance.
Yeah, no, for me, because I always felt that you messed up now, but eventually you'll go there. Time is a strange thing, because my thing is, what if Endrick pops off?
He will pop off.
And if Endrick pops off, Vini continues to improve, Rodrigo now takes his game to the next level. Why do we need an Mbappe? Now, maybe you do Mbappe just because you want to just flex because you're Real Madrid. But I think if the team is already in a good stage and a good place, look, let's be real. This is why I'm so scared of this Qataris. Mbappe could end up at Man United.
Oh, I would love that.
Mbappe could end up at Man United.
I would love that.
So, which could now be problematic. So, you could end up at United.
No, as long as I see HH tears, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Bill can actually speak Spanish, not fluently though. Bill can speak Spanish. He can speak.
Yeah, he can. Do you know what happened? Because he didn't give interviews to the Spanish media. Spanish media tried to destroy his public image, but he could actually. There are videos of him backstage talking Spanish.
So why does it say then speak Spanish fully then?
I mean, going to your locker room and saying "Hola, cómo estás" to everybody
No.
on the way there.
And then
it's just that
Barcelona
if you don't dance to the media here, and you know how it is in Spain.
Yeah, Spain, the media is crazy.
If you don't talk Spanish, you are fucking. I don't know.
You don't care about us. You don't care.
If you don't give interviews, if you don't give interviews, you're fucked.
Yeah, we all know. Barcelona was part of the old regime.
Wait,
I'm
hold on.
not gonna get into that.
Wait, hold on. So shout out to Olale. Thank you for the dub, man. Imagine missing out on Bellingham to sign Dumfries. Jesus, Madrid have enough to sign players in other positions. The price doesn't matter as long as the signing is on points. Cruz wasn't Cruz at 21. Calma, there's enough time. But look, for me, and I think Elias, that's probably where I'll go to you. Don't be surprised at how a player can change. I'll give you an example. Remember Henry at Juventus? Henry at Juventus was a PNP merchant who played on the wing. He was pure PNP who played on the wing. Wenger took him and made one of the most gifted, talented strikers of all time. And another conversation I want to have is Edson and Henry, who has a better legacy, but that's a different topic. No. So you could take Bellingham, but that's why it's a very important thing that Ardia said. It's who is the coach going to be? Because depending on who the coach or the manager is, he could have a big say into taking Bellingham and turning him into a specific player. And now we look at the multi-talented Camavinga, who's more talented than Jesus Christ. So if Camavinga is put in that midfield and is now turned into a guy who can now control things, who knows? Camavinga could be the controller, and then he now has runners in Valverde and so forth. So,
You know who they're calling the next Henry? Alexander is Isaac.
Oh, yeah, relax.
Yeah, they call him the next Henry. They're saying
Stop it. He's not.
Isaac
is good, but stop it. Okay, he always wears the meat spot, so that's good.
We need to have a conversation about how Isak absolutely dismantled the Premier League. Yeah, he was irrelevant in.
Wait, we need to see that. We need to hear that. We need that.
Artist, my mouse is literally on there. So, no, it's fine. So.
I'm trying to
do you want to stay or do you want to go into the green room?
No, I'm just trying to speak.
I know, but no, now you're speaking, but I don't want a receipt to be played. So if you do a receipt, I can either mute you or just put you in the back.
That's not a receipt, that's me speaking.
It is a receipt. I know it's a receipt. I know it's a receipt.
That guy Zola guy, I've never heard of him. What team does he play for again?
Gianfranco, one of the best gifted players of all time. Okay, so shout out to you about Olale, man. My bad. I meant if Bellingham fails at Real Madrid, the top 6 EPL clubs will still twerk for him. Oh, no, 100%. No. Yeah. And basically, it's a point that Ricardo made. If he fails at Real Madrid, it isn't the end of the world. All EPL teams will get down and do the Cardi B special on him. 100%. like 100%. Like teams will 100% Cardi B him and so forth.
What is the Cardi B special?
You just type Cardi B and then that will be really. Look, listen, all I'm saying is this. All I'm saying is that we'll be back next year.
Ooh,
have your blows, have your punches. We're going to be back next year.
So
you've had your fun.
Why do you say that?
You will be back next year. Don't worry. This was a blip. You had all your fun and so forth. This is a blip.
Guys,
we will be back.
A pre-season jinx, basically.
Okay, guys, it's going to be a long process. It's going to be a long process for us next season. And we're going to try our best. It's going to be a long process, and it's going to take time.
No, you don't understand. I opened Twitter, right? There's something that made me so happy today. I saw a post that said there's a scenario where the league table can end up like this, and it was Everton, Southampton, and it was Chelsea, bottom 3.
Eddie, do you want to be put on timeout? I don't know whether you want to be put on timeout. I don't know whether you want to be put on timeout and so forth.
If Big Sam is true to his word, man, and he gets
Big Sam, please.
then Chelsea might be in trouble.
Okay, guys, look about where they. So guys, we'll probably be back here again, maybe either Friday or Saturday. But just look to the YouTube channel for when the next live show is, man. Thanks to the panel, to your boy Ricardo, your boy Paul, your boy Elias, your boy Ardis, and your boy Yasir. Like that vid, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys on the other one. Peace.